feel that confidence coming through, but up against them today, not too shabby themselves.
Whoa, the cavalry bringing out the prince again in the lineup. Aran making its debut in season 14. King Gugun, Richie once again, Yawi and Kabuki.
The Dragon Prince graces us with his return. The captain, it was James. That's the big announcement for Liquid this season. But it's a classic match of red versus blue. And on the blue side, we have TLID, who are looking to redeem themselves from an underwhelming debut just yesterday. Let's welcome the cavalry as they march down on the stage. It is Liquid Indonesia.
Once again, Yawi in the middle, the anchor of the cavalry, looking to make some sets, some plays with his pickoffs. But the question is, can they connect enough to be able to beat BTR?
There's a lot of questions flying around. This is only day 2 after all. But for Team Liquid, I think there's a lot of pressure here. They've already shown one of their cards. They're shown that they are immediately adapting directly after one single match. And for Bigatron, it's the exact opposite. They're coming in fresh. They have the strategy. They're going up with no holds barred, man. They want to bring everything they can to make an absolute statement. And today, for both teams, the battle begins here in the coaching staff, man. Coach Saint DeLucas and Facehugger looking kind of sheepish, actually. But I bet they're confident. And on the other side, Mirko,
we have, again, for Bigatron Alpha, it's Wura together with Theo Nile. The Bigatron beta coach, and I think for Chefin, very familiar face there, Wura, the ex-analyst of GeekFam.
You guys forgot to shout out the man in the middle, man. Marshall Daynang leading us to this game. But let's see though, what's gonna happen between the Cavalry versus Bigatron Alpha. There's a lot of expectations for Bigatron after that beautiful performance in the regular season, pretty much demolishing everybody. And that includes Onyx. Meanwhile though, in the jungle area, King Gugun and Super Ken, one of the best in the business in terms of retribution. Highest objective in MPL Indonesia, season 13. 72 turtles, compared to 68 for Super Ken.
When we were talking about Super Ken being one of the big contenders of like the best jungler, he seems to be able to do it all. Utility, assassins, neutral objectives, and even looking for kills if he has to be that main carry for his team. But rivaling him today is King Gugun with a very impressive performance when it comes to the neutral objectives, that retribution. Although we haven't really seen him play a lot of those assassins, but on paper, in theory, and we've seen an inkling of it, he too can shine on the assassin picks. I think it comes down to the rest of the team at this point, with both junglers being so close in performance, both being so dynamic. It comes down to whether or not the team can kind of enable them, can give them the space and the opportunities to just take control over the whole game.
The big question, I would say, I think for both of these teams, right, with Aran joining in for Liquid, does he have more, I would say, does he bring a better style to enable someone like Gugun to find those retributions? Because yesterday in game number 1, up against Fnatic Onyx, and even game number 2, just the whole series, they really weren't able to do what they used to do, to enable Gugun to find those retributions.
Well, keys to victory here by the Samsung Galaxy S24 series for Team Liquid ID is to improve the decision making and avoid tunnel vision. They have to look at the bigger picture all the way from the drafting phase, right? To ensure that they know exactly what is it they want to do. It's not just, oh, early game or late game. They have to find ways to get one lane going. They have to find ways to rotate as well. Keys to victory for Bigatron though, Sigma Luke's maxing to ensure that you have the best in the business, the best performance, and of course exploit Moreno and Key's wide hero pool to win those matchups, get a lane advantage, and I think especially for that EXP lane too, man. Luke's maxing. What do you think about this, guys?
I think it's gonna be huge, especially with the sets. This guy is. Well, I'm not saying anything about, you know what, I'm not gonna address it. But still, Luke has been one of the better EXP laner in Indonesia, as Mirko mentioned, probably the best is in Indonesia, making those plays, making those outplays, one of the maybe flashiest Lapu-Lapu user, or maybe heroes that can outplay people. The Storizla gonna come in handy for Bigatron Alpha, and in terms of sets, I think this is probably the best option for Bigatron Alpha to pick up. So we can see a lot more connection and synergy with Luke and the rest of his team in terms of how they approach the team fight.
Yeah, I think approaching the team fight, approaching the neutral objective as well, it's very clear with the way that they're playing and the way that actually they deployed the lineup. Because we saw Finn as well enter this lineup, a roamer from Bigatron Beta that likes to play for Shive in Bigatron Beta. So the way that he plays is he wants to just babysit for the gold lane, wait until the gold lane actually gets ahead, and then they play around the teams. And shout outs, by the way, to Yaoi's mom here, who is also on the stage or in MPL Arena right now, is supporting his son, or her son, here in MPL Indonesia. But back to the point, Finn, they didn't decide to deploy him. So I would say, when it comes to strategy, they're still going to be playing around Super Ken.
And that should be the case. Shout out to Eterna, though, probably going wild here watching the broadcast. Mom!
Yeah,
You know,
it's been a while. Japan right now.
Exactly. Well, Yaoi, his mom, I think Eterna has a lot of stakes here in this particular match. Definitely, you know, staring daggers at Mirko on the stage, but let's go into the drafting phase almost immediately, man. I think it starts here, and you have to just look forward to Theo Nail and St. DeLucas. See how can they play this chess match, because almost immediately the Fanny gets respected so early on.
And I have a question here, straight off the bat. St. Lucas, we saw this up against Fnatic Onyx 2. When they were on blue side, they actually banned 4 assassins up against Kyrie. What are your thoughts on that, Chef?
Still waters run.
Well, I think Kyrie is a phenomenal assassin user, so it deserved to be banned like this kind of heroes. But you can see in the world stage in M4 even, it's always banned. The strategy has been always somehow containing Kyrie with his assassins, but in this case, it's pretty much like, I don't want to say Walmart Kyrie, but hey, it's like a worse version of Kyrie, I would say, in terms of assassin in Super Ken.
My mission is to protect
there you go,
lives.
Hans.
Bigatron, they're forced to bend the Hylos right here. We've seen how oppressive it can be, but the Zask is left open with the Tushin already banned by Team Liquid ID. This is their chance to go and get that oppressive mid laner and start from there. Start building maybe a composition that can withstand the aggression coming in, because they know, I think they're absolutely expecting Bigatron to try and take control, to try and be aggressive. I don't think they're really expecting Bigatron to play it laid back, to just stall till the late game.
I don't know about this, right? I mean, if we look at Liquid's composition, and if we look at the bans for Bigatron Alpha, they did decide to prioritize the Hylos, but this does leave the Zask up for grabs for Liquid. And I think for Richie, a player that's super passive, it actually does make sense to put him on the Zask. You get 2 HP bars with Dominator set, and they do go for that first pick in the Zask.
Cosmic Sea.
Really, it's a hard hero to pick off, especially if you use something like a Purify, because you can't really deal any damage towards the main body when he's transforming with the ultimate. But apparently it's gonna be a Roger and a Ruby.
Oh.
I believe this is going to be Luke, but let's see if it's gonna be like flex pick. Because usually Luke has been pretty good with Ruby, right, historically?
I mean, we've seen a bunch of Rubies get rotated, you know, to a different lane so far. It's one of the more flexible heroes in the meta right now, technically. So for Bigatron, it's a great move to just have 2 heroes that actually don't really confirm what their strategy is, right? There's still flexibility. There's still a lot of flexibility available, and this leaves Team Liquid kind of wondering right here, what do they want to go for? There is aggression built in here with the Roger, but Bigatron can still play that passive game and allow the Roger to come in last second as a cleanup crew type playstyle. They're not really locked in into this big dive kind of playstyle.
Oh yeah, looking at the history of Richie, the achievement that he made, 4th place Euro Esports 5.0, but other than that, not really looking that great. But I believe St. DeLucas, or the coach of TLID, have a good reason for him to bring this guy on the lineup, replacing Yehezkiel in the mid lane. But it's going to be Moskov and Minotaur for STL, a lot of setups. And Kabuki on the Moskov once again, Arashi.
Buki on the Moskov, good upplay potential, macro gameplay available. But Bigatron, they still want to go the flexible route. Still, a lot of hidden factors right here, and picking up the Valentina means that there are ultimates available. If they want to play that sustainable mid lane style, the Domineer's Descent can be stolen with the IMU. He can steal the Minion Fury as well to allow his team a bit more crowd control in the massive team fight. But it does seem like Team Liquid are really expecting a full-on dive composition, and if that's the case, then the marksmans that Bigatron should be looking for might be something like a Claude, might be something, I don't know, might be something like a Harith, can still fit into the composition, but on the off chance that Team Liquid goes with that route and ban away the gold laners, ByteDance can very easily pivot the Roger into the gold lane and go for something like an assassin and catch Team Liquid completely off guard.
For sure, there's a lot of flexibility coming in from ByteDance Alpha's draft. Meanwhile, though, for TLID, it's pretty straightforward. So the banning is going to be easier for Coach Theo Nail. Right away, Gugun losing his option in that Julian. He actually played quite well yesterday with this hero, stealing some retribution away from Kai. But now, what's going to be the option here for TLID?
I think if we look at it here, it's kind of tough, like you mentioned, right? I mean, they can go for the gold lane bans, but the Roger can obviously be flexed. They can go for the roam bans or the XP bans, but the Ruby, that's why it actually creates a big problem, I would say, in the draft itself. Meanwhile, for ByteDance, they definitely have an easier way to start banning away, the specific roles here, because the Zask, Minotaur, and the Moskov pickup for TLID means that there is no possible flex. We have seen the Zask actually in the gold lane a couple of times, but with the Moskov pick here, hey, I don't think we're going to be seeing that flexed anytime soon.
Moskov mid.
The Moskov mid.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
What do you mean?
Hey, good clear? I don't know.
A bit too vulnerable, I would say, but with the Hayabusa ban here, seems like Team Liquid not really they're kind of going both ways. They ban away one gold laner and one jungler. It's like they're just sure that ByteDance can still flex this any way they want, so they want to just remove the strong picks. The picks with a lot of survivability, by the way, with the invulnerability of the Ogi Shadow Kill and the shielding that the Harriet naturally has. With the Teresa picked up, for the side of ByteDance, they are two really good ways of starting a big fight, but it's still an all-in.
And now after the XP picked for Coach Theo Nail, the Roger, I think it could be played in the jungle way better than before, because you already have two setups here to properly enable the Roger so that Super Ken can go ham onto towards the preferred target, especially Kabuki. Meanwhile, the two last picks from Team Liquid ID are going to be Nolan, I believe, and Baran. So very, very tanky XP laner battle here from Super Luke and also Aran. Not really the hero that we usually see from Aran, I gotta say.
Yeah, for Aran, usually we see him on the carries, the Paquito, Benedettas. I think sometimes even the Arlet, but we have seen him actually try to transition over to a lot of the utility picks, and if you look at the composition, they are trying to set up for Gugun, and that was one of our major concerns from yesterday's performance. They weren't able to play around Gugun yesterday, they weren't able to set up for Gugun, and this time, they have the composition to do it, at least, right? So for ByteDance Alpha, do they want to play towards the gold lane now, after seeing what TLID's drafts are?
I think if they go for something a bit more durable, it's going to be a bit troublesome for King Gugun right here. It's going to be a Mathilda, hang on. So Roger in the gold lane, in a sense, it's almost like a similar situation. They have a Nolan, but there aren't really a lot of vulnerable heroes that can be targeted easily from the side of ByteDance. With the addition of that Mathilda as the last pick right here, Team Liquid, I feel like they're going to be struggling to get an engage, right? They might be really forced to engage using a Daytona's Welcome Flicker combo right here. That is not ideal when your only engage tool is a long cooldown, less mobile ultimate that needs to be supplemented with a battle spell. ByteDance can take full control, be aggressive, and just use that maneuverability to completely outmaneuver Team Liquid in fights and in rotations altogether.
A lot of setups, a lot of heal as well for Super Ken, so they're gonna play through him, but Eman on the Ruby though, this is a huge question mark. I do not think I've seen this before, I believe.
What?
Eman Ruby?
No, we haven't seen Eman on the Ruby, but it is Ruby Gold, not Roger Gold. It's Roger Jungle.
Right now, we are gonna see what's gonna happen here. The battle of cavalries versus the robots. It is Team Liquid ID versus ByteDance
Welcome
Alpha.
to Mobile Legends.
Let's see it, man. Ruby Gold for Eman. The man noted as the most intelligent gold laner, usually with sublime itemization choices here. And with him on the Ruby, I really wonder if we're going to see a different style from Eman. Maybe just clear out the waves, play around the neutral objectives, and maybe it's the same strat. They just want to match TLID, saying that they're better at those neutral objective battles.
I wonder what the idea is for Key, though. Trying to be aggressive on this Mathilda. Getting punished, though.
Just a bit. Moreno walking back up, getting the Terrified down, and picking up the guiding win, too. And in the end, I don't know who you would give that trade over to, because Key did lose more HP, but Richie was punished more compared to Moreno.
Already some movement coming in from Super Luke trying to secure that Lethal Wanderer. So can see the synergy right away in terms of like taking the jungle camps outside of the the individual movement coming in from Super Luke. Let's see though what's gonna happen. In the Healing mostly is gonna be passive, but Key taking a lot of heat from King Gugun right away.
Bottom lane though, Mon very, very aggressively placed down. Key doesn't have the guiding win, and Mon still has the flicker, but decides to wait on it. Wow. The composure to not flicker in a position like that.
That's aggressive play coming from Team Liquid. And they know that this is, I think, their plan from the beginning. Because looking at the emblems by GamesMax, Kabuki went for that Master Assassin in the gold lane. He's fully expecting to try and match out against his fighter. And technically, Moskov is one of those gold laners that kind of has a good time going 1v1 against a fighter, just due to all the outplay tools, the repositioning from the Abyss Walker and the Spear of Misery. They can kind of help you with the kite back. But look at this turtle take by Bigatron, though very decisive. Is it too early, though?
Low fortress here, Moreno. Gugun walks up. Superken gonna be chunked down. Now Retribution. Superken wins it out. A good penalty zone earlier now. Now it's a first blood over. Gugun picking up the kill, but Super Luke returning the favor. Moreno getting chopped down. That's a big over. Aran knocked up, and Moreno goes for the Terrify. Luke still swinging that hammer. 1-1, but the neutral objective goes to the Red Robots.
A really good decision from Luke. Even though he's not level 4 just yet, he knows that he's gonna be in time. That level 4 is gonna hit when the turtle is about to get taken down, and right away use that to gain some advantage towards that neutral objective. Aran was a little bit late on that fight. Meanwhile though, looking at the talent prediction, so 2-0, all of us predicted BTR is gonna win.
A rare moment of unity for the English desk right here. It's usually quite divisive, I must say. Looking at Bigatron, I feel like they're still the ones in control for the most part. You can see that Richie, even though he's on this survivable, this aggressive mid laner, with the help of Yaoi, they haven't really been roaming as fast as the members of Bigatron. Key has been all around the map, finding information, finding ways to be annoying. I think Gugun, slowly but surely feeling a bit of the pressure, always getting spotted out, but he is still, I think, doing a better job clearing here. Supercan actually reaching level 7 first, so both junglers making sure that they do have the resources if they want to go for the neutral objective, but really no real moves towards swinging one of the side lanes in favor of one side just yet.
Oh, the first! Still a good circling eagle from Key to actually escape there. That lethal ignition doing work.
Gotta watch out for Gugun, man. Now he has the 100 strikes, so that damage is gonna be further enhanced with the penetration as well. Key, gotta watch out, even though he has that mechanic to be able to get away, that shield to be able to kind of leverage some damage to him. It's still going to be dangerous. Meanwhile, though, looking at the item Arashi, Windtalker first item for Roger.
Windtalker gives you a lot better clear speed, allows you to be a bit more versatile in your approach in team fight as well. I think we've seen it again and again before. And now, it's so funny to see both junglers kind of waiting around near the litho, near the new objective, because they both clear so fast. Now they're both preparing to go for the turtle, and of course Kabuki can join in though. That's the big, massive factor right here.
Good screening by Key here, just marching over to King Gugun there. Supercan goes for the turtle, finds it there, despite the Minions Fury used up by Yaoi. Key still able to escape. Now a penalty zone into midst of it all. Moreno gonna be chunked down and taken out, but so does the Barats. Aran falls, the Dominators Ascend still marching on these HP bars, like in Pounce over the back. Now with the fracture, Super Luke able to evade, gets out with the flicker. Richie flickers as well. Supercan a level ahead will try to utilize this maneuverability to actually go for the seal, but I believe Gugun was still able to take that away. Now onto the mid lane turret, and still for Bigatron, it's a win.
Yeah, keys the victory, Rashi. Don't be tunnel vision. I feel like the decision was there just to get the purple buff for King Gugun just like that, because like if you contest and fail at that, the consequences gotta be huge. And they went for it right away. Now they're down about 1k gold lead.
I think it's the part of the plan to just go for the neutral objective and use the Minotaur, but Bigatron are playing this beautifully, man, using the Minions Fury stolen by Moreno to really match the crowd control potential and allow Supercan to, for the most part, have a better time right here, because for Team Liquid, they gotta be concerned about that circling eagle, they gotta be concerned about that penalty zone as well. Whereas for Supercan, that Daytona's welcome, you can see it coming from a mile away, man. It's so simple. And the way Bigatron Alpha is playing this is almost reminiscent to the old meta, the 1-3-1 meta, because you essentially have two fighters on both sides, they're pressuring, and that allows the Roger to have so many more opportunities. But look at the top side though.
Around with a big miss. That was well played still by Supercan though, because I think even if it connects, Supercan now chasing that Dino down. The Lycan is better than the Dino. Supercan up top in a 2v1, no problem.
Supercan said, invest on this, man. Beautiful outplay of fading that ultimate from Aran. That 2v1 gonna come in handy well though.
Yawi brought back the Minus Fury, able to find all of them there as he gets out with the Motivation Roar. The Dominators are set, the battle of the Johnnies just lasering each other down, but Iman is there to help to make it a 2v1, and Richie, he can't handle the pressure of his own Dominator's descent.
Immediately Team Liquid back away, but I think they came out on top right there. I believe King Gugun was still able to get this purple buff, but the turtle immediately goes to Bigatron. Everything they do is planned out, man. The way they're rotating around right here, even now potentially catching Kabuki off guard.
Okay.
Oh no.
Able to use the SOD. Moreno comes in with a Terrify. Oof. Good Purify out from Kabuki, and Bigatron just trying to suffocate them.
Almost looking at the deja vu right there. Kabuki with the Spear of Destruction finally connecting and gets away from the danger. But so far, Rashi, the neutral objective battle for Bigatron Alpha has been phenomenal. They always set up way earlier, like 5 seconds earlier than TLID. That's why they've been ahead, 2.7k gold lead.
I think it's a lot earlier than just 5 seconds, Shevin, but Iman finishes the Sea Halberd as well. So great respect. You were talking about intelligent itemization, Mirko. Goes for the healing reduction against the Minotaur, against the Kabuki on the Moskov as well. A lot of ways to cut down on the sustain here, and Aman makes a play once more.
Good, I'm offended over to Aran there. Goes for the missiles, circling Eagle. Over to the top as well, but he gets down now. Super Loop with a penalty zone. But Yawi with a great re-engage. No! The Barats talks down over at Super Loop. They still are able to get that kill over. And it's a good trade for Liquid as they defend the tier 1 in the mid lane.
Healing the Flash of the Oasis from Yawi. Beautiful item. And now, they actually get something out of that one, even though the gold lead, it only shrank down about 800 gold lead, but it is a gold swing nonetheless.
With King Gugun picking up the Heptaseas now, more burst potential, but the question remains on who? Who exactly is he going to be looking for in the midst of these chaotic fights? Especially because the main jungler, the main carry from the side of Bigatron, it's going to be that Roger. And Supercat has been amazing with the positioning. I don't think I've seen him getting grazed by a lot of card control tools just yet. Bigatron seemed to be really intent on taking down this mid tower to really open up the map, open up the jungle for invades as well. But Team Liquid are consolidating on it. They're able to actually save this turret, but they're doing it at a cost of keeping everyone in the mid lane, allowing Bigatron to increase the gold gap just by farming.
How do you deal with this? Kabuki, you have limited range, and against this kind of CC, it's really hard for you to pop up, or we can go front to back and well, reaching in danger.
Great Terrify there. The Barats goes over the depth as well, but it's only going to be onto Super Key. He's still going to be taken down there, despite the healing. Ken jumps with like and pounce. Great, I'm offended to lock the Dino down. Aran taking out the Spear of Destruction in the back. Kabuki still dealing some damage. A good flicker from Moreno to disengage. Losing a roamer there for the XP. Iman in the 2v1. Look at that healing from Iman. On the marksman, he's great. On the fighter, he's an absolute menace too.
It's not just the marksman. As BTR Alpha gets the Lord without any kind of contest whatsoever. Up 3k gold lead, and they have all the room in the world to take this mid turret finally. After a few tries, 3 tries, trying to force that one.
Ruby gold lane, man, absolutely menacing. The itemization choice as well, man. He went for the War Axe, knowing that he has a bit of protection. He can be aggressive. And he went for the Sea Halberd immediately, so double the healing. And of course, the basic attacks in between the cast of the Donor Wolf King and the slowest from the Ruby actually does a lot of damage. And I think Team Liquid needs to kind of respect that as well. They can't really leave him to his own devices, because he will eventually do a lot of damage, especially against the frontline members like Aran, like Yawi. I think they gotta make sure that they calculate the damage properly, because otherwise, they're probably just getting picked off before they even know it.
Again, the Circling Eagle forcing out the Detonus. Welcome, and just like that, they deny the pickoff potential of the Dino. Iman with I'm offended now. No Detonus welcome, no anti-CC. Aran's just gonna be chunked down under the base turret. Going one tick in, Aran gets the motivation roar to heal up at least to survive. But Bigatron still have a big Lord that's marching up top.
Lord marching in the middle though. The passive is already gone as well. BTR Alpha is looking to force this one.
Great Eagle, Luke. His own flicker, zoning them in the back line. It's been his Fury. Doesn't connect into anyone. Like can pounce Yawi. Taken down to give Superhead his unstoppable stats. Even with the Dominator's descent, that big HP bar that's so menacing isn't so menacing now. And Mosh trying to tank up the base turret shots for Supercat to siege it down. but it's a bit of miscommunication there. Still, for Bigatron, they'll play it clean. They'll back away and play with another wave in the mid lane. Gogun, 2 levels down, another I'm offended. Aran, Dominator's Descent, trying to go for Super Key, who's flying around, but Ken just demolishes him. Now maneuvering up top, Kabuki decides to Abyss Walker forward, and Super Ken's just standing there taking the damage, getting pinned to the wall, but he doesn't care. Not while Key can keep healing him.
This good play coming in.
Oh man! Got by Gogun.
That's just oversight from Bigatron Alpha, man. Playing it aggressive. They've been able to get the best out of Team Liquid again and again, especially Key on the Mathilda. I think the aggressive pressure of this Mathilda has been severely underrated. The fact that the Circling Eagle is forcing out so many different ultimates, and it's off cooldown so fast due to the Jetta Talisman, due to the Flash of the Oasis. Key is just spamming it again and again, and Team Liquid can't really match the skill usage here, and so they're falling behind. Even earlier, actually landing the Circling Eagle onto Yaoi, who was trying to go for a Minion Fury. Super Luke now with the Winter Crown. Look at his items, man. War Axe, Queen's Wings, instantly to the Winter Crown. He doesn't care about taking any damage. He wants to be aggressive, he wants to sustain back up, and then he wants to waste your time by just going invulnerable.
That's the TikTok item, man. When you want to make an outplay, you want to make an outplay, use the Spell Femmes. Yeah. And right now, Bigatron Alpha, as systematic as ever, never forcing the issue. Now they're up with 6k gold lead after a few attempts. Now, Kabuki though, still on the other side of the map. I don't know about this.
Circling Eagle over to Gogun, knocking him up, but it's all just to buy time. It's all diversion for Super Ken to solo the Enhanced Lord. And I would say for Kabuki, it's okay. At this point, they can't go for the contest, so what he can go for is a mirror play in the bottom lane to try to get some turrets, and that he did. He was able to get 2.
Moskov pushing on the side lanes, definitely doing it a lot faster due to the attack speed buff that you get from the Abyss Walker. 2 turrets for the sake of the Lord, though. I think it's still very much worth it. Gold advantage at 6k for Bigatron, but they're gonna equalize on the 2 base turrets, most likely right here. Beyond that, though, they're gonna be forced to fight into a Zask, into a Minotaur, into the Daytona's Welcome, so they have to be a bit more careful, a bit more calculative with how they want to approach these fights. That's a damage coming towards Luke, though, because he didn't go for any physical defense. He is just all sustain and invulnerability, man.
Yeah, and just heals right back up with a single lane from the Spell Femmes, courtesy of the War Axe and also the Queen's Wings. Meanwhile, Key kind of looking for one more set here with the Circling Eagle.
Zoning him away, just trying to isolate these base turrets, and that they were able to do. Just in the mid lane, though, as the Lord will be dealt with. Kabuki on it, Aran trying to hold it from getting into that base vicinity. Kabuki with the Abyss Walker forward, and the Purify. Good with the nature to bait it out. Super King gonna be baited with the Lycan Pounce there. Luke, low. TLID still standing, and Bigatron Alpha struggling to end.
Little sussy Abyss Walker to the front by Kabuki, but the intent was to bait out some of the resource of BTR. It worked out, but didn't really get anything done just like that. Now, BTR is looking once again to force down on towards the bottom lane.
Oh, another Circling Eagle hovering over Aran as a Winter Crown by Luke, forced to flicker back. And this time, Bigatron Alpha, they will have to play systematically again, the discipline route.
This is reminiscent from the old Team Liquid days when they were under a different name, when they were able to just bring the game somehow to the late game and find ways to kind of make an advantage here. Before we get into that, though, Game Fact here by our new application GoPay.
Yep, in MPL Season 13, Mathilda was the hero with the highest ban rate with 144 bans and a ban rate of 67% win rate, and Key is responsible for a lot of that, man. Oh no!
Aran, all alone! You can probably hear Ranger Master say, "What are you doing, Aran?" Because you're definitely way too overextended, even as a frontliner.
And the Winter Crown that was very unnecessary. There is no way, ain't no way you're escaping from that.
Bigatron immediately, they collapse towards the base, but there are no waves available just yet. There is a man advantage, but it's only for 20 seconds. Are you going to try and force a fight here with the next wave coming in? Bigatron, what is the move?
Seems they want to try to force it. Gogun jumps forward, Moreno displacing himself. Yaoi not able to find a Minus Fury. There's a big penalty zone, catches them. Now with a Minus Fury and the flicker backwards. Yaoi going to fall still. Just Moreno with the back diving in. Gogun gonna be slayed under the base. No good spear victory. The base wide open, but they can't go for Kabuki. What was that? Jumping to his demise. Not playing around it again. Super Ken will take the base through in the bottom lane. The runners respawn back in. No waves to play with him, man. Flickering forward, unable to find Imopin, and not just yet. The Circling Eagle to knock Richie up. Now a Super Luke will be much down upon. Ken doing so much damage, picking up the Legendary, and finally, they'll go for the base. That's a winner crown into a penalty zone to knock Richie down.
Game number 1. Bigetron Alpha takes that one. Team Liquid ID, a lot of mistakes, man. A lot of things to note. Around even Kabuki. Over and over again, the Abyss Walker to the front, or maybe I believe there was a Spirit Destruction?
Spirit Destruction.
Yeah, towards the middle of the robots, like 4 people surrounding him.
A Roger, a Terizla.
I don't know about that one, man. It might be a desperate play, an attempt at some kind of mind game, but it definitely did not pay off. Bigetron Alpha were absolutely prepared for it. They pounce on him, they dogpile on him, and he could not do anything about it. A good mix of physical and magical damage as well. Bigetron Alpha, once they did that, even though they were losing a member, they still had Super Ken up and healthy, and he was able to do a lot of damage there in the back and forth, proccing that true damage, sealing the deal, winning game 1 for Bigetron Alpha.
A good thing to remember though, for all the TLID fans, Saint Lucas actually said that only 20% is progress of making this team work. And this is the winning moment from Bigetron Alpha around, trying to use that Daytona's welcome, but the damage is way too much at this point. That is going to be the end of game number 1 of Bigetron versus Team Liquid. Super aggressive, optimizing early lead, brings BTR to defeat TLID in game number 1.
Oh boy. Phenomenal performance for the super aggressive team. Really good discipline too here, Arashi. 1-0, but can't help but talk about the mistakes made individually there from the Liquid players.
I thought there were moments as well from the Bigetron players that were a bit questionable, but I don't know, at least you can see the intent for Team Liquid. There were some moments that caught us completely by surprise, man. The Spear of Destruction, Daytona's welcome even. There's just so many moments there, and you have to even draw it even further back from the drafting phase. What was the Nolan supposed to do?
Throwing gang signs here.
What gang signs?
Yeah, I think one of them throw some gang signs.
They're saying west side, east side. Man, this is Indonesia. I don't think we got gang signs here.
But yeah, back to the game again. Super Ken and crew definitely still, you know, retaining that spirit in the regular season, last season in season 13, pretty much destroying everybody. And that includes Onyx, by the way, that eventually won in season 13. But the question still remains, can they actually do it when it matters in the playoffs? So what do you think was the problem in the playoffs, and also what do you think is the solution here?
Okay. Problem? Mental. Because on a technical aspect, if we take a look at their lineup on paper, and especially their performance in the regular season,
Champion-worthy.
They're champion-worthy. Yeah, I would actually go as far as to say they are champion-worthy. And that came from Sheffin, right? For me, maybe it'll be like, all right, obviously biased, but that came from the biggest Bigetron hater, especially now because they stole Luke away from his team. They were champion contenders, but the mental was not there. They weren't prepared mentally to be favorites. They were always in the playoffs, making it to the playoffs just barely, and they were always coming into the playoffs as underdogs. So the first time they came in as favorites, they were not ready for it. And I think this time, the fix is the failure. Failure first, and then success later. Amen.
Amen, bro. I think for a lot of teams that is going to be a solution. They're going to start off slow, but they want to make sure that they end it strong. Now for Team Liquid, let's see if they can end this match strong. They're going back into it, going straight for the same exact bands, actually. Wow.
Where have we seen this before, Arashi? You know, Sheffin's asking me about Bigetron Alpha's problems in the playoffs. I think all season long for Liquid, they leave the Zosk open. Okay, that's a change.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely, but looking at Kabuki's last performance with Roger, I don't know about this, so it is still a flex pick though, so King Kugan can still play that hero. The question is, Coach Theonel, do they want to bring out the Mathilda once again? Is Mathilda right now is more of a prior pick for Key? Or is it gonna be like a curveball in the second phase?
Yeah, no, I think it's not a prio at all. It's more like a situational pick.
But the win rate shows it though.
That was last season though.
Oh, okay.
Right, I mean, right now...
Mathilda was broken last season.
Yeah, because of the way the game works, right? Now that fights are usually a bit more consolidated, which is why it was a great play by Bigatron to pull out the Matilda, because they know that in this specific instance, in this situational situation, that Matilda is gonna be so much better. But they pick up the Moskov. They didn't even go straight for the Zask, by the way.
Yep.
Is Zask slowly falling out of the meta, or is this just Bigatron trying to be trendsetters, trying to bring the game back to the good old days?
This might be a mind game, honestly, from Bigatron Alpha, because technically yesterday we saw how Richie performed on a creative pick like a Loyi, and he's more of a passive player, right? So maybe Bigatron are saying, you're not going to pick up the Valentina even if we let it go. We're just going to set up for that flex pick and get Iman a good pick in the gold lane too.
All right. If it comes down to it, Aman might be on the Moskov up against a Roger. We saw that Kabuki went with a very bold plan there to go with the Master Assassin. So we'll have to see. For Team Liquid, they bite on that bait, Mirko. They go for the Valentina. We'll have to see if Richie can pull off the proactiveness to make this Valentina pick shine the same way Moreno did. Along with that, though, they go with the Edith, so a lot more flex here for Team Liquid compared to game number 1. That's a great sign of adaptation. Now for Bigatron, the final pick. Do they still want to hide some of these picks? Do they still want to confuse the members of Team Liquid? Because with the Ruby already shown, at least the gold lane is kind of straightforward.
Yep, maybe they'll try to pick a mid lane here and still hide the Ruby the second phase. But it's interesting that Edith, we haven't seen that in the... Yeah, there you go. It's going to be Luo Yi.
Wow. Oh, man.
On Moreno. One of the best in the business using this hero. Now maybe he's going to show Richie how it's done.
Oh, wow. Straight to the point there. I mean, we did talk about his performance yesterday on the Loyi, and it was quite underwhelming. And now that they technically are saying, look, we'll give you another chance, we'll give you a diversion, you can steal it with that IMU, means that maybe for Bigatron, you're right, Chef. Maybe it's like, hey, try doing what you did yesterday. A Hayabusa ban, though. This time it's from Bigatron Alpha.
That's a mean plan from Bigatron as well. You kind of like put Richie in a position where he's going to be compared to his performance yesterday. That can be a mind game, right? That can kind of discourage him from making plays that are too crazy out of fear of making a mistake. They ban with a Hayabusa here right now, so they're still respecting very much King Gugun here with his assassin potential. But I guess this time there's a bit more emphasis, a bit more importance in doing so with the Moskov, with the Loyi. They're still pretty beefy, pretty durable, but at the same time, there's way more chances for King Gugun to make a play. So will the Nolan get banned out here is the question. Because I think previously they went for an alpha ban, because they were going for tankier fighter heroes in the front line.
It might be an option, but there's still a lot of assassins on the table for King Gugun to use. There's still Ling, there's still Fanny. Oh no, Fanny's already banned. There's
Ling's banned as well.
Joy? Oh, but this is a weird ban, I gotta say.
Whoa!
Actually,
Interesting.
Well, if it's against Key, then it makes sense.
exactly.
But right now you're up against Yaoi, and you are banning a Lolita set hero. That's not really...
Because you'd expect actually TLID to be banning out this hero, especially considering they have 2 heroes, technically 3 with the Valentina. They can throw away some projectiles here, right? So yeah, it's definitely an interesting ban here from Bigatron Alpha. I'm guessing it's just to deny the Bulwark, kind of like sending back some of the yin-yang reactions from the Loyi over to Bigatron Alpha.
Well, the yin-yang reaction, I mean, they can throw back the they can throw the one part of it, right? But like what do you call it? The rotation can't really be reflected just yet. So I feel like if it's only for the Loyi, it's gonna be a lot worse. So it might be a mind game, right? Maybe they're trying to bait Team Liquid to predict some kind of hero with a lot of projectiles, and then they pick the Arlott right here. For the last pick, though, I mean, what could it possibly be, right? What is it, in the EXP lane potentially, or in the roam position?
Still flex.
Still flex,
Exactly.
man. But what could possibly be countered so hard by the Lolita? By all means, it might just be the Luminant Blast they want to get rid of. But you can't help but have that in the back of your mind. And I bet Coach Save the Lucas is so annoyed by this, man, because you have to kind of consider every single stone. You can't leave any stone unturned.
Now TLID, they're still...
Safe choice is Terizla.
Yeah, Terizla is pretty good here, especially against 2 backliners that's quite vulnerable, and Luyi has to invest a flicker to get away from... Oh! This is interesting. Yaoi on that Chao, looking to display some of his kills once again. A reminiscence of M4 Yaoi.
Let's see if that show actually works out here. A signature pick for the world champion. 100% win rate back in the M4 World Championship. An unreal stat. He even got a skin for it.
Yep.
Well, now it looks like Team Liquid are playing this pick-off style though, with the burst coming in from the Harriet, the Valentina, and the Roger, and the great way of the Dragon. But it comes down to it, both the Edith and the Cho have a very telegraphed engage methods against a Ruby, against an Arlet. It might be too difficult. Final pick like this. What is going on?
What? I was gonna say that Yin is actually a bit, it's conditional. It's very conditional, but they actually pulled it off.
Shout out to Omwawa. He's been preaching about the Yin for centuries, it seems, but we've never really seen the Yin work. Actually, we have seen it once, Selly Boy, back in like season 9, I believe.
Quick prediction though, which skin?
He better use the new one. I mean, he just got revamped, right? The Jujutsu skin.
Wait, will he use Aaron?
Oh, both choices.
Exactly.
Both choices
exactly.
are okay. Nah, think about it. Both choices are
Nothing
good.
could go wrong. But yeah, this is going to be very interesting. A debut pick, not just in season 14. I believe it never got picked in season 13 as well. So let's see if this ranked hero can be applicable in actual pro scene. Super Ken on the Yin. What is going on?
It's a dangerous pick, man. In the current meta that's so calculated, so neatly arranged, a Yin can really break down a whole composition, steal one guy out, and if the ball gets rolling, if the Yin gets to snowballing, it does an absurd amount of damage. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get straight into it. Game number 2 between Bigachon Alpha and Team Liquid ID. Aaron in the building.
Eren Jega.
Eren Jega.
Oh man. This is, I mean, again, like you said, it's a ranked strat, right? We see this a whole lot in the ranked games. I'm glad we get to see it here. Super Ken on Aaron. Maybe he's gonna have a switch up as well, you know, villain arcade. Already forced a flicker early on, and that's the pressure you can expect when you're up against Yaoi on the Cho.
When you think about it, combined with the diversion from the Luo, you can pick up someone and just go away, right? It kind of works in a sense. The synergy is there, Rashi.
Looking at the item builds as well, Kabuki going with the weapon mastery here on the Harriet. So he wants to ensure that the late game is even more secured for him. As Super Ken, seasoned hunter with the lethal ignition and the thrill, assassin emblem as well. He is out for blood right here, but he still wants to make sure that the clearing is still under control. Whereas for Luke, he has a tenacity, so at lower HP, both him and Super Key going with a tenacity, they're gonna be a lot more survivable. But now, Yaoi, whoa,
Stunned up. Luke can go for the vengeance, but knows that Aran is there, and Super Ken wants to just go for the XP crab here. Key facilitating that. Level 4 ready for Gogun Aran. Or got a flicker with the onward. Great pick on the Super Ken, another Yikundo. Good charge blast there. Super Ken able to escape, but Key, no flicker, burnt out earlier. He will be taken down, and he's food for Gogun.
Gotta say though, that was a good damage control for Bigachon Alpha. From what it looked like gonna be like 2 kills for TLID, they were able to just sacrifice Key, the roamer, alone in that skirmish.
great play by Aran as well to start things off though, with Moreno going for the play in the mid lane, but the Cho wave clear is making it difficult for him to rotate and have the kind of impact. You still see the Purifies available for both teams, but the Turtle immediately bursted down, man. Team Liquid striking back, having aggressive laners. They're trying to make sure that the aggression doesn't stop there. They're trying to translate it everywhere else, but later on, Bigachon with 2 Purifies have a chance to maybe outplay, counter-engage, already setting up a trap in the mid lane right here with Super Luke.
I like that Aran actually used that ultimate, the Primal Rush, to just get the Turtle done quite fast. So you can see right away some of the adjustments from TLID. Now they treat the neutral objective much more important. And now Yaoi might be looking for a play here. Has the flicker.
Great G2 no flicker with the way to Dragon. Super Ken, my turn! But King Gogun says, nah, I'd win.
Wrong skin, bro.
Close enough. Okay. Oh, Genji Kundo Gogun is a monster this game. Up top, I offended Richie. Stealing it away, and Mon against everyone. Spear destruction to escape, but you cannot escape from Gogun, who finds a triple in the 3rd minute of the game.
High risk, high reward, man. And now they're paying it. Bigachon Alpha is losing on all aspects here. Losing a turret before minute number 4 and already down 3k gold lead. This is definitely not the start that you're looking for if you're a Bigachon fan.
And that's all the gold shield going into the hands of Gogun and Kabuki, presumably. Man, Key is just getting outworked right here on the Ruby. He can't really match to the playmaking of Yaoi. And of course, Guggen being on the Roger, you're seeing the impact of a strong jungler right here. Super Ken by all means has the damage, can still do it out, but the Roger from Guggen is just doing so much better when it comes to farming, when it comes to the rotations around the map. The mobility aspect of this Roger cannot be understated.
Yep. Arashi, I want to ask you a question. Does this Jhin also have the same problem as the Nolan in game number 1? In fact, in a way that there's really not much target that you can pick out. Everyone has a Flicker, someone has a Purify Inherit, and a lot of people have sustainability in their kit.
I think Valentina can still work. The fact that it's a bit of a fighter instead of an assassin, you can still kind of get good value out of the fight. Eman trying to be a sniper elite to try and steal the turtle away, but look at Yaoi!
Again with Ray the Dragon, only bringing Key back though. Oh, I'm offended, Richie! Isolating Key, they don't open a target on him though. Now with Lycan Pounce coming in, he won't be able to find the kill. All of the members from TLID there. But look at Yaoi, still in a 1v1. Super Ken picks up the kill now with the Charge Blast and the Frenzy Strike. Over to Arani, he doesn't find the pick up just yet, but Iman, together with Moreno, was able to do it. Super Luke now with the resets on the Vengeance. Claims another kill. And somehow, Bigatron walked out of that trade on top.
They're definitely the victor, 3-2, especially that secure kill from Super Luke was huge. And now they're looking to, you know, translate it once again on the bottom tier turret, Arashi. They still have to fight them.
It's good area control. The fact that Moreno can just put spells down and leave it there, do some damage, makes it difficult for Team Liquid to try and commit and sit around waiting for the Yin to come back out to their realm. And once he does, I think that was a surprising amount of sustained damage that Super Ken was able to do right there. Team Liquid kind of caught off guard, but they're definitely learned from that mistake. Looking at the items right here, Thunderbolt already for Luke, so expect a tanky guy. Final slash though.
What a final slash over to Richie, still able to escape though with the flicker. Burns out Keys, I'm offended. That's Moreno. Takes the diversion, but it's not in range of Richie. It would have worked if Richie tried to recall on the other side of that wall.
Already looking at some of the brilliance of Luke. Meanwhile, though, Keys very, very low now.
Whoa! What? Guggen could have gone for that Key.
Yeah.
So low, but Guggen knows better. Not really worth to risk for, you know, his life for a 0-3 Ruby.
Well, I guess you're very disciplined at that point, and there is some outplay potential with the Flicker. I'm offended, so even Super Luke was in the vicinity, so I guess it's a good decision in the end.
I think it's great so far, but man, Team Liquid, 3k gold, and they're up 2 turrets here. So Bigatron, they're still doing the farming game quite decently, I must say. Oh, play though in the middle.
And it's gonna be my turn. Super Ken takes him to his world. It's a 1v1 there. Meanwhile, Bigatron Alpha trying to corral upon him. Who's gonna win that 1v1? It seems like Hereth is actually having a good time because of the time right now, and Super Ken cannot go for the kill! Knocked up by Yaoi, Guggen is gone like in the back! And that's 2 on the board for the Roger! With a Lycan Pounce, make it 3! Guggen is on fire!
The Schrodinger's cat Kabuki didn't die after we open the box. And now, TLID is rolling 4 kills for them. Up 4k gold lead.
9 kills in the hands of Guggen, 0 deaths. Whoa, Amando.
Solo kill up top. Kabuki, wow. Dying to Eman.
Came out of nowhere, man, but hey, all right, Bigatron striking back, but the gold lead still is expanding. It's only 7 minutes, but with the amount of action we're getting here from both teams, trying to outwork each other, it sure doesn't feel like it now, Key.
Shut away the dragon, it feels so smooth when Yaoi's playing this Cho.
And there's really no, you know, option to get away when you're not a Mathilda. You don't have a Purify, and you're a Ruby losing in gold. The damage is there to press him down, Super Ken. How do you turn this game around, considering that this is not really the hero that you're looking for when you're trying to use a prolonged team fight?
I feel like team fights can't really be used well by Bigatron here. We have a game fact by our new application GoPay. This marks his debut in MPL ID Season 14 after last being used in MPL ID Season 10 by Sellyboy when Alter Ego won against Evos. I remember that pretty well, but Iman.
Oh, the diversion gets them to safety in time! But Key will have to be the sacrificial lamb. One had to go there, and they chose Key.
Oh man,
way too close. Way too close for comfort right there, but Bigatron are barely holding on right here. 5k gold lead, again, in the grand scheme of things, somehow it doesn't seem too bleak. It seems like they're still planning out something. In the end though, with the diversion being available, there is a chance that a massive diversion play can swing things around completely. But that's only if Team Liquid let up and allow enough time for Bigatron to kind of set up for something, to prepare for something. If they don't, if they keep the pressure on to Bigatron, stop the farming, stop the movement, stop the vision availability for Bigatron, then this is a matter of time, man. The late game from Team Liquid ain't too shabby either.
For sure, audience prediction shows that they're definitely favoring Bigatron Alpha, even though they picked the Yin. Good thing though, they still have the Moskov, they still have the Luoyi with a Purify as well. So in terms of like defense and also high ground protection, they're still A-okay, even though Yaoi can go for both of them. They still can get away with the Purify.
Alright, man, let's theorize here. What exactly needs to be done by Bigatron? They sure need some kind of big playmaking tool. If Superken can get an assassination, that'll be great. I think the best target at this point might be Richie on the Valentina, although ultimate potential is always available. Otherwise, they just have to bank on getting a massive team fight where Eman can absolutely pop off. But even then, it's going to be so difficult because in damage output, he's competing against a Roger, a Primal Wrath Edith, and also a Harriet that has the weapon mastery. So it certainly looks bleak for Bigatron as of right now, but it's never over until it's really over in the Land of Dawn.
3-level difference between the King of Retributions of Season 13. And now they're looking to defend once again. Supercan, what's the use of this hero when you are in this situation?
Nope. There's absolutely no use for Yin when you're behind. 7,000 gold lead especially, right? In pro play on top of that. Because in ranked games, usually you'll still be able to find a pick. You know, someone's usually overextending. But here TL are just playing it really smooth. Again, utilizing the waves, taking control of the jungle, and now Supercan won't even be able to take his own purple buff.
No purple buff. It's not as detrimental for a Yin as it was for a lot of the more aggressive picks. For now, Bigatron still is waiting around. Even Luke here, the fact that the team is just so pressured means that he's not getting a lot of stacks onto that Thunderbelt, so it's really losing value the longer the game goes on. A BOD built up for King Gugun right here. No Thunderbelt. He wants all that smoke, man.
Oh. Oh, wait, the Dragon actually missing this time around. I'm offended. Connecting final stock, picking Yaoi back. Good flicker out by Yaoi on the Cho.
Wow. Drag from the orange buff towards the inhibitor turret, and also making Yaoi use his flicker. That is a good 120 seconds of safety for the backliners of Bigatron Alpha. Now, what do they do with this Yin? At this point, he's looking to kind of just split up. And now, already 4 people there. I don't know about that. Supercan!
Oh no! Oh no! Supercan brings him to the team! I'm offended, connecting on 2 and Monster does a lot of damage. Kabuki jumps in, no way! Down. Picked up by Luke. Kabuki gets rid of him on. Luke and Key running for the hills. Now also onto Yaoi, who's still chasing him down. Aran can't go for the chase. Key is still able to walk out, and Luke will be able to recall to safety. 20 seconds on the death timers though. 16 on Superken. Base turret up top will surely fall, but for Bigatron, they do not lose, not just yet.
Ooh, that was dangerous. I thought the diversion and also some of the damage from Luo Yi will be able to get down some of the members of TLID, but turns out it's really not enough. At this point, there was like 8k gold lead or something. Now it's down to 6k. Bigatron Alpha. Can TLID, they're already engaging on towards the Lord though. Oh, watch out, watch out. 4 guys there.
Oof. The tension, man, we can absolutely feel it right here. You know, in the grand scheme of things, again, it's a shutdown picked up from Gugun, but everyone backs away there. And look at Team Liquid, man, they're being absolutely patient with this Lord. They know it does a lot more damage now, and it takes a lot longer to really take down, but look at the damage, man. It might be just destroyed immediately.
Yep, really no chance at all for Superken to get around that pit. And Eman, good item there. Rose Gold Meteor to kind of somehow reduce the damage taken from the Magic Damage Dealer 3 from the Cavalries, Kabuki, Iran, and Richie. So he has more safety in his belt and hopefully make an outplay happen, because right now 7k gold lead, it's definitely not a small lead. Not a lead that you can just brush off and go into a team fight.
A lot more difficult right now though, because if you look at the composition from Bigatron Alpha, they do have a lot more AoE, and the way that Team Liquid have been able to get a lot of advantages is by making surprise plays or even big flanks. with their backs against the base, it should be easier for them to defend. Look at Richie though.
Whoa! Goes in earlier to the final slash over to Yaoi, who's still able to escape. Great shot, pull on defended on the two. Kabuki gets picked off, and then has Lord up top still. It's a 1v1 for Super Ken and Gugun. And Super Ken wins it! How? What? 11-2 up against a 1-4 Yin!
That was 4K gold before the jungler and Luke Super Luke with the final slash. How did that happen? How the hell? 8K to 2K in a span of 20 seconds.
What? Get me a replay of that. What happened over there?
Bring the VAR, man. What just happened? How the hell did Super Ken get some pick on towards King Gugun and the Roger?
Look at the death timers though. It's kind of cycled right here. Bigatron, they can go for another pickoff right here, and if they can do that, Team Liquid, this is looking kind of bleak.
Wait, they're gonna go for the base turret. They're gonna take the base turret. TI, they can't fight for it. Then the diversion out to the bottom lane. All in that time, it's still Super Ken up top pushing the wave. Gold lead, what gold lead? 8,000 to nothing now.
And you can see the items. Look at that. Super Ken securing the War X. Eman gets a Malefic Roar. That is a huge boost towards his damage. He can play front to back easier now. BTR, what kind of code have you been writing? Let's see King Gugun. Just look at King Gugun. What just happened? Oh my god, that's pretty much half the C's. And the pure damage of Yin. We don't know what happened in that domain. That's why it's a Schrodinger's wolf at this point.
Super Ken happened. That is, man, King Gugun 11-1. And he was able to be taken down right there. That is absolutely unfortunate. And now Bigatron have control. They have vision. They have a base turret even. They've equalized in that department. But the side base turret, the one that Team Liquid has taken, is something that Bigatron needs to be careful with. As key. Has to make a play right here. Yaoi's alone though.
Ooh, the Spirit of Misery goes to Jikundo. On the red tree, goes for the final slash. Yaoi with the conceal now. But they all get caught in the Yang reaction.
That's damage.
Back. That damage indeed, Arashi.
Oh no.
No, they don't take it, right?
Oh,
Okay, if they took it.
The fact
Aran was
that,
ready.
Yeah, the fact that Eman stood still, I thought it was in the domain of that teleport.
Oh,
I
that
thought he was
would've
gonna pull a Kabuki.
Oh, okay.
Pull a Kabuki? Is that what we're calling it now?
I'm sorry.
Well, for
I mean, in game one, he Spirit of Destruction. He didn't Diversion, right?
True.
Same thing.
Teleport.
For now though, whoa, look at this, Aran. They have to be a lot more careful with the damage though, because you saw that Moreno now has some real damage.
Oh! In onto Yaoi there, but I guess enables the Earth Shatter Kabuki again there! 1v1 Super Ken pushes around, still able to escape, keep buys the immortality in time. Yaoi has the immortality as well. Good over Wolf King Richie taken down. Gugun chases down the Roamer and will be taken off. But Super Ken and Moreno are wreaking havoc. Final slash, now in a diversion, Moreno gets out! Oh! With 1 HP, clutch gaming from Moreno!
And that trade has been won by Bigatron Alpha once again. They should have been losing in a prolonged team fight. They have a Yin. What are you talking about? They're losing. They just got a skirmish.
They're panicking, man. Team Liquid, they tried to go for that fight, but their targeting was all over the place. You saw Kabuki try so desperately to get to Amon, but he wasn't really backed up. King Gugun was on someone else.
Look at this, look at this. Look at how they're actually timing it. They're gonna wait for the 10th second here. No way. And then they take it so that it'll spawn the next wave. And then they'll have time to set up for it. Brilliant stuff from Bigatron.
How the hell? We've talked about the Yin being useless in a high ground position. What do we say now? Is it just Yin or is it Super Ken? Is it Eren Yeager rumbling down the opponent?
The Usurper turning the game around, man. Wow, Bigatron. Now they can make plays happen. Now with the Lord even. Remember, there's still a chance of a diversion play. The fact that it has only became a big factor once or twice in this game means that it's not really in the back of the minds of the players of Team Liquid. There could be a surprise play once again, but look at Luke.
Against everyone, he does have the immortality.
There's no
Went in for
way.
the vengeance earlier, now the Earth Shatter, Luke gets out. And they've baited quite a bit of abilities. Yaoi, no way the dragon, but Luke is very low, doesn't have to flicker. Moreno has a winner crown now, Yaoi. So trying to stop the Richie, getting caught by the Yin reaction. Final slash over around this place, still able to find the Earth Shadow, but Primal Rat will not save him, not for now. It's my turn. Luke taken down, now Gugun jumping forward, but Amon is able to kite away right now as the winner crown gets used up by Super Ken. Gugun gets a double. Super Ken buys the immortality in time. Meanwhile, on the back, Amon still able to survive, but it's a shutdown. Poor Gugun, a big triple kill at the 18th minute of the game. Eman versus the world. Richie has my turn. He has that Yin ultimate. There are no waves, unfortunately, for Liquid, so they can't go for the end. But try to defend up top, and they will be able to do so. But look at Eman. What is he planning? What is he scheming?
Oh no! They spot him out! They spot him out!
They stopped the recall as well. Trying to get out Kabuki, hoping there's a man force to try and get him. Oh,
That's a lot
man,
of
that's a lot of damage. What is that? Fortunately for Bigatron, one whole straight push towards the end will not be happening right here, but Team Liquid are striking back. They're still behind on the gold though, but you're seeing that late game power. The fact that Aran wasn't immediately picked off in that fight, he was able to pop the Primal Wrath, sustain a bit more and do an extra amount of damage. That is what Bigatron Alpha have to try and do here. Seal the deal and secure the kills before the DPS becomes too much for them to handle.
King Google, man, at this point, he is a big trouble. I feel like the only member that can actually burst him down is Eman at this point. Looking at the item, he already has immortality. So combine that with the Winter Crown that he's gonna build later on. It is really hard for PTR to do something about it. You have to chain him with CC or something, or maybe just a lot of TPS coming at him. But that is asking too much.
They gotta keep tracks on Kabuki's Purify as well. If you look at his items, with the Blood Wings, he went for the Oracle as well. He understands that he needs an extra layer of safety coming in. The extra shielding will do great against Super Ken. The magic defense is great against Moreno as well. Oh, they go for a conceal though. Yaoi
Looks there. Way the dragon. But look at Super Ken in the midst of it all. Now goes in for my turn.
Oh, no.
It's a 1v1 as he buys the winner crown. Now King Goku's going to lose his immortality, and Eman's going to be able to jump in with a Spear of Destruction. Kabuki winning in the 1v1 in my turn. Eman's still able to cut away. A good Earth Shatter and the Primal Wrath to isolate them in the back as Eman is still able to survive. What? He buys the immortality. Around flickers forward. Eman still alive for some reason. Oh! A good final stage over. Aran's going to be slain. It's a maniac for Moreno.
What just happened? Moreno, the diversion play?
No way.
Oh,
Just the unstoppable.
what?
Moreno decides, no, I can't go 1v1, not against a full HP Herod. There's no possible way.
Look at the base though. Hang on a minute.
Buys the immortality? No. Herod recalls.
Wait, do they want to go for it? No. King Gugun, 19 seconds. I don't think that's enough time by now. Kabuki will just clear this one just fine. That I think it was a mistake. King Gugun was the first to pull the trigger after the initial engage. It didn't really, count the effect of the CCs coming in from Super League, and also the incredible...
the diversion to bring the Yin back to the Lord.
Oh man, he recalled so that he can handle it, so Super Ken can maneuver over. That was a good move. Oh no, but will it get them
50,
the Lord?
50.
This is a big boy. The Lord, Super Luke going in.
No.
It's Eman who saves them. No retreat can save you from this game. Only the Red Raider from Bigatron Alpha.
After the whole team saved Eman from his death, he saved them with a clutch basic attack towards the Lord. The synergy, the systematic display of Bigatron. Oh.
After being so reliable in their retributions, Gugun was unable to secure the one that might have sealed the deal for Team Liquid. Now Bigatron has a chance to make a play with the Lord.
No.
They're trying to get something, but Team Liquid, they know as long as they turtle in the base, it's gonna be a bit too difficult. They've done it once, can they do it once more?
This is an involved Lord. Aran's the one that gets displaced. He unable to find the I'm offended. Primal Red. He gets slain! The Yin Yang reaction brought him into the spears of Eman. And now on the bottom lane, the siege goes in. Super Ken gonna fall there. Super Luke jumps into the midst of it all, finding the vengeance. King Gogun low or Shatter Flicker. Eman with a Purify, still able to cut away. Yaoi jumps in with the Raider Dragon, but he can only catch Moreno. It's an unstoppable for Moreno. He still keeps his immortality intact. The I'm offended to grab Aran back, but he has the immortality for diversion. Eman in the midst of it all, still cutting away, still jumping with the Abyss Walker, and still going to be able to kite back again. Eman's an absolute beast of a man. He throws the SOD, but he will not be able to find it. Now it's Gogun against the 3 robots, against the Titans. Running forward, the Cannonman is all that they have. Another mid wave in the front, the final slash not connected. Super Luke baited in, he goes for the vengeance. He loses the immortality, buys the winner crowd. Ice cold from Bigatron Alpha as they come back in game number 2.
Improbable comeback from the robots. Safe to say that the mental problem is no longer there. They were able to come back from that kind of situation. What just happened?
Bigatron, they play the long game. They do a throwback to the good old Bigatron, the late game Bigatron, the calculative Bigatron, and against all odds, defying maths, they have come up with a clean sweep against Team Liquid ID.
Oh my goodness gracious. Day 2 of MPL ID Season 14, ladies and gentlemen. The gift that never stopped keeping giving.
What can you say, man?
I'm out of words. That was insane, man. Eman, Moreno with the diversions, the peel for Eman, and the last clash. That was Supercan was a non-factor here. It was pretty much 4v5, by the way.
Look at him on the final fight. Look at his positioning.
This is absolutely beautiful, man. Even the spreading out to ensure that no one gets taken out by damage. The item swaps in the last moments of the game right there. And even till the end, the final seconds of this game, it was still looking so dangerous, so volatile. But in the end, Gugun is just but one man. And he can't do it alone.
Phenomenal performance from the Red Robots.
You know, when you win a game that you're supposed to win with clean execution, that's great. When you win a game that you are not supposed to win from the composition, what do you even say? How does it even happen?
When you utterly failed in the early game with an early game composition in Yin, when the win can
it's not just about 1 point in the regular season, it's about that respect, man. It's about sending a message.
It's also the right to brag in social media. There's gonna be a lot of uproar whether RQ won or EVOS Glory won, let me tell you that. It's chaos here in Indonesia.
Absolutely, man. The drums of war sounding now in the pack from both the EVOS fams and the Kingdom.
Let's see though what both of these teams are cooking up from coach strategy and also the new coaching staff of the season with Cascute already banning 2 mages here. Harith, Valentina, and also Hans banned by Cascute. Meanwhile, no strategy don't want to entertain any kind of fast-paced gameplay from RRQ with that Ling and chip ban.
I wonder if we're gonna let go of the Tushin, man. There's the last ban here for the side of EVOS, and there's a lot of things that they still have to ban out. Even if they do get the Tushin out of the way, they have to deal and contend with the Zask still, potentially here from RRQ. We'll have to see, man. It depends on what coach strategy has in mind right here. Considering they have Dreams and Brands back in the mix, they have more experience in this lineup, so they have a lot more flexible ways to play this game out. Oh, okay,
wow. Respecting that Sutsujin Fanny, so a lot of options here left on the table for Cascute. Maybe a Roger, maybe a Zask.
This is the first time that Juicin has been left open as well, so I mean, they could go for something like that, but they prioritize that. No Roger, no Juicin, no Zask.
Interesting. I mean, technically, even if EVOS pick one up, there's no way they go for both Sushin and the Zask, so picking something else, and you know, I guess RRQ just feels that both of those mages can kind of stand up to each other anyways, so it's fine. They let go of that. They go for the Edith first. A great mix here. A great flex pick. They can go to the EXP, to the Roam as well. And it's great playmaking, and RRQ potentially want to go aggressively. But EVOS, they go for the Hayabusa, which hasn't been seen so far just yet, and the Charisma too.
2 very familiar pick from Fluffy and also Hayabusa. You can see the statistics just now. 7 bans so far this season and 0 picks. So this is going to be the debut in Season 14. Jushin and also that signature Alpha from Sutsujin picking it in front of Annabelle.
Interesting, man. What a statement here, and it's a bit denial pick technically, but Hayabusa was already locked in. Taking it, Idok here. Second place in SPS Season 1, RRQ Senna. First place MDL ID Season 8, Boss Q. And second place MDL ID Season 9, RRQ Senna. So some experience under his belt, but in the grand scheme of things, if you compare him against the juggernauts like Brands, like Dreams, there's definitely an experience gap, and that is something that I think Coach Keski has or needs to prepare him for, going up against these veterans who now pick up the Zask as well.
Just as you should have said, Arashi, two mages left wide open, so they didn't really pick that mage right away from Coach's strategy. Claude is banned for Skylar. We know how much this man can do damage with that hero. And also Brent as well.
Yeah, too. And I think this is a very interesting ban already for Evil's Glory, and very interesting first phase choices to go for RRQ, because again, the normal RRQ, at least for last season, is very Skylar-centric. We saw that in the VT, and we've seen it in the games as well. But this time RRQ, for the first time in Season 14, and for the first time in a long time, they actually don't go for Skylar's pick in the first phase.
Already a whole new different look coming out of the side of RRQ right here. And this is the dynamic difference that we were waiting on. With Evo's banning still away, all the gold laners, they don't have a gold laner themselves, but they can kind of flex the Zazie if they want to, but that is not what Brands is well known for. Might be too much of a reach.
They can still go Roger too. Up for grabs. Ruby comes to mind too if we're talking about gold lane.
I don't know about Ruby though, against a Jushin and also a Edith and also an Alpha. Might not be the greatest pick out there for Evo's Glory, and it's not really known for brands to pick a non-marksman hero in that gold lane. Meanwhile though, RRQ really respect some of the set heroes that Dreams had. 2 bans right away in the second phase.
I think we're getting away like a lot more aggressive heroes, because the Sushin can kind of get vulnerable to an all-in, because you are in relative close range, right? But for Evos, they go straight for the Roger right here, so I think it's definitely already considered to be a Roger gold. For RRQ, I think solid front line that can stop members of Evos from diving in will be beneficial here to set up for the Tushin, to allow her to just channel that Lantern Flare and just start lifting people off the ground.
I think Ruby is viable here, is it not?
RRQ, yeah, I mean, the Edith is so flexible, they can still flex it over to Dyron with no Terizla. I mean, technically with this kind of composition, maybe they want to go for something like an export too. I think that could still work out and they can actually get a very tanky composition. Oh, they go for the carry. So it's Ruby and carry.
So technically Ruby is still picked, but Skylar opted to go for a carry. Ooh, a bit risky here considering you have Hayabusa, you have Roger, and a lot of hero that can pretty much jump on you. But we got a comment from R7 earlier saying that Cascute and NMM, his knowledge or their knowledge is compared to Achil because how expert they are overall in MOBA games. Oh man. Wow. The Tigreal is gone, the Minotaur is gone, Carmilla is still there for Dreams.
All right. Well, big massive factor right here is the fighter and the Sushin. That makes a very dangerous combo, man, for RRQ. The trio mid, at least, that has been so important, especially if you want to have an assassin jungler. I think they have a bit more of an advantage right here. Zaz, Hayabusa, and Carmilla doesn't really sound as threatening as, let's say, an Edith or Ruby, an Alpha, and the Sushin. You can expect a lot of aggression coming in from the early game. Level 1 and level 2, the Sushin already gets online, spammable abilities for long durations. But look at the counter, man. 3 purifies for the side of Evos.
Oof, a lot of graph towards RRQ here. 2 very interesting draft has been brought out for Rex Regumkeon and also Evo's Glory. Who is going to win? It is chapter 32 of this book, of this rivalry. It's RRQ versus Evos once again.
We'll see if we will have revenge or repeat from Season 13. RRQ Hoshi with a completely different lineup that we've been talking about. Rins, Dyron, and Edok. Even Sutsujin. Only Skylar really being the only member that was left from the last lineup. Meanwhile for Evos, same lineup for them. They did not change anything. We saw Panzer and Doma yesterday, but in the big match they decided to go with the good old Dreams and Brands.
You see that Rins is trying to find some kind of advantage, some kind of knowledge here, going into the jungle of Annabelle, but won't be able to find anything just yet. Dyron rotates in to get that litho very early on though, immediately securing it, allowing Sutsujin to go for a different path. And even in the gold lane, you're seeing Skylar just do Skylar things. Somehow, able to still go aggressively against Brands, who is on the Roger with the basic emblem and the Master Assassin still. So Brands is definitely trying to go in aggressively in this gold lane, trying to get an advantage. Whereas for Rins, tenacity with the agility. It's all about the crowd control. It's all about sticking to your opponents and still being tanky enough. With the built-in sustain, gonna be dangerous for Evos, but they're playing this early game relatively well.
Seems like that basic common emblem has been the meta here for the gold laners of this day. Even Amon used it on a Moskov, so for all you guys gold laners out there, gonna copy it. Meanwhile, though, Susujin.
The Spear of Alpha together with Edok there, forcing out the Purify from Dreams early.
On the other side, though, trap for Dyron on the top side. The wave is pushing in favor of RRQ, so Fluffy is just waiting in on it, but Dyron will not bite on that situation. Both teams playing it very, very patient.
Yep. Very, very patient. Looking at the spell, Sarachi, 3 Purifies, compared to RRQ that has 4 Flicker. So you can see the importance of Purify against this kind of CCs. Meanwhile, though,
Curse of Blood. But Susujin is able to escape with the Spear of Alpha. Rins still has the beacon, utilize it to get out. And there, Earth Shatter into the onward. Dyron level 4, Fluffy not there just yet. Instant rotation from RRQ to secure a neutral objective.
the good old utility jungler from Susujin wins out against the assassin. Meanwhile, though, Dreams in trouble.
No Purify this time. Spear of Alpha, I'm offended, and then you get picked up and slammed to the ground by that Juicin.
Hold on, though. That was that talent prediction. None of us predicted EVOS to win.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, for once, I'm not really that special. Usually I'm the odd one out, but hey, it's a different season, it's a different time, and this Tsushin definitely makes this game feel so, so different. But look at Sutsujin, man, winning in the clear game as well, and the mid lane is just so strong right now. His pulls talking back.
Forcing out a Dominator's Ascent, good stun down, Rins flickers out still. Sutsujin jumping in, putting some damage back on. Both mid laners here, having to recall, but Clocken, he definitely got the better value trade there. Doesn't have to burn his skill. Annabelle walks forward. I think he did steal the gold crab away.
Something that you don't really see very often. 2 mid laners duking it out in a mid lane in an early game. And right now, RRQ, it is a lead, 200 gold lead, but it is easily catchable with this kind of composition. Annabelle still no conversion towards kills just yet, using that Hayabusa in early game.
Well, a big benefit right here is the fact that RRQ can get an extra 17 gold every single time Clocken carelessly calls in a Nightmare spawn. For now, though, I think for both teams, it's a very interesting situation right here, because EVOS wants to get going with the Hayabusa, but RRQ, they have the Tsushin that's kind of neutralizing all the aggressive things that EVOS can do on the map for now.
Oh, Skylar wanting to really clear this wave there, pops into ultimate. He will be able to Brands. Like a pounce to the front, Skylar going to be chunked quite low, but Skylar returns the damage back onto Brands. And then he proceeds to recall, both teams setting up for the turtle.
That's just Skylar things, not backing up, but look at the top side.
Great setup from Dyron, now penalty zone, building it down, Sutsujin, send it go back, Fluffy. Force the flicker away. Rins was about to pick him up.
That is a huge advantage for RRQ. Meanwhile, though, Dreams in trouble. No, Susujin. Green light to retreat this one.
Curse of Blood coming down, Annabelle walking forward, shadow kill! Oh! Block Dominator's Ascent, taking him down, now the Spear of Alpha, Sutsujin still winning the retreat battle! Annabelle, no quad shadow, Rins goes into the Dominator's Ascent now also, wow, amazing peeking with a Lantern Flare! But Clockun, that damage on Zask is nothing you can ignore.
There you go, if you're wondering why Jushin is always banned in MPL Indonesia, that is the reason. A teamfight that looked really bad after that Curse of Blood from Dreams turned instantly by the stunts, by the knockups of this hero.
One thing that the Tsushin lacks is damage output, and you're seeing that kind of favoring the side of EVOS right there. The fact that they're kind of going back and forth, but despite the fact that Rins is left alone, just melting everyone down with that Lantern Flare, it's just not enough damage, at least for now. You're really relying on that tankiness, being annoying, and being more of a crowd control source and a utility tool. The throw aspect of that Lantern Flare actually is quite far. It's a very good setup tool to go for pickoffs and the like, but for now, looking at the items, it's a Thunderbell finish for Dyron, so it's going to be an aggressive Edith with a lot of damage to throw around. Going to be having a showdown with Annabelle on the top side, though. And RRQ with the rotations, man.
Also looking at the itemization for Fluffy, already a different approach from the previous loop that uses War Axe and also Queen's Wings, going for that Dominant Eyes for that debuff on healing.
Oh, good steal from Sutsujin, and Dyron walks up, punishing Fluffy, who rotated into the mid lane. So now up top, they might actually be able to get a turret.
Wow.
Wow. Wait a minute. There's just way too much pressure from Rins in the mid lane. The fact that Evo's just rotated all the way to the bot side. Not even setting up for a play right there. RRQ with a free turret, and still the setup advantage for the turtle. I'm afraid it does not land from Edok, but at the same time, look at Rins getting kind of low. Might be dangerous if you consider that the turtle fight is coming up in 8 seconds.
Yeah, now Tyron and crew, Susujin already in the vicinity.
2 levels ahead.
Yeah, once again, Annabelle has to play the catch-up. He has to use his quad shadow to be able to get a steal or maybe a kill, but he's already down 2 levels. This is not looking good for EVO's Glory.
Good hold on the turtle though by Fluffy here. Now they decide to walk up forward. Edok will be taking that damage. Penalty zone from Fluffy. Good spear of Alpha displacing Fluffy, now caught in the midst of it all, isolated from the team, picked up the Sutsujin, takes him down. Annabelle picks up the turtle, Edok gonna be engaged upon by Brands. Crimson Beacon not enough to get himself out of that shadow kill. Annabelle picking up the kill, making it equal in kills, but they get the value off of the neutral objective. Meanwhile though, Skylar got the turret.
Beautiful set by Fluffy, countered with that Skylar split push. Actually pretty much shoot Sutsujin away from the vicinity and actually winning out on the fight too. So 2 birds with 1 stone for EVO's Glory, but they're still down about, what, 600 gold lead.
Gotta be careful. No. He doesn't want to be careful. He wants to be reckless. Walks over to Brands now, pops in a Primal Wrath, and he is able to escape. Just with Skylar and Edok coming his way. Well played, Dyron.
Get baited. Dyron with the stand there. The menacing stand down. The staring Brands, daring him to go even further. Now with a momentum shift again, 60 seconds to the next neutral objective. RRQ are definitely looking into the jungle, looking into that mid lane turret as well. They have had Rins being so aggressive so far, but she hasn't really been able to translate that lead to the other lanes as easily. And in the grand scheme of things, Annabelle is still keeping up in levels to Susujin, only below by 1 level. So all things considered, it's only a 1k gold lead for RRQ. They gotta be real careful right here, because the late game, from the side of Evos, ain't too shabby themselves.
Random offended now into the melt down, but it's not actually, Dreams hasn't got melted down. Dyron now the Primal Wrath, Fluffy gonna be taken very, very low. The Crimson Beacon is Kyler! Slowly but surely they melt them down. It was very slow, but they finally got that one. It's traded for Dyron though, so it's not that much of value, still equal.
Yep, EXP for EXP. An interesting rotation here coming in from Annabelle once again, using that far lane to farm up for himself. Expect RRQ to kind of use that to their advantage after what happened in the early minutes. Tyron and Sutsujin ganging up on Annabelle in the top lane and then resulted towards a turret. They might do the same right now.
At the bottom wave, it's kind of equal, but I feel like it's slightly favoring Evos perhaps. There's a turret on the bottom side there though, so RRQ have a lot more freedom to just stay on the top side right here and then pressure. Rins, as always, wants to be annoying, but she needs to be careful now. Again and again, he's been kind of caught out of position. That's how it goes when you play the Tsushin, but you can always be a bit more careful, especially with the amount of burst damage that's available from the side of Evos.
Oh, they want to place this.
Yeah, Skylar, I mean, to be fair, with the Alpha and the carry. Oh, finds it, I'm offended! Predominant Senka's placed out perfectly. Rins now. That's a Crimson Beacon in the back, but will be caught all alone still. Skylar is still there, and Substitute together with Dyron is wreaking havoc! Dyron picking up a double. That's a 2,000 gold lead now in the hands of the Kings. Annabelle, Quad Shadow in, gets caught by the Don't Run Wolf King. Goes for the Shadow kill. Edok taking a whole lot of damage. There's Shadow! Dyron! Again, well timed as Sutsujin gets rid of him. RRQ Hoshi with an overwhelming win in the 10th minute of the game.
The debutant's making a statement, safe to say. He answered the doubts. Edok with a beautiful set on towards Fluffy and Clocken. And that made RRQ have their way with EVO's Glory at that fight just now. About 3.8k gold lead, and they're looking to amass much more with this Lord.
Brave purifies, and it doesn't even matter. The damage comes in so quick, so swiftly, and Dreams, once again, caught up position. Edok has been very decisive with his engages right here. Evos are definitely taking notice. And look at his play towards the purple buff, though. Evos are not letting it go without a fight.
Purple buff. So gonna be Sutsujin, I believe, who takes it.
It's Annabelle.
It's Annabelle?
Yep.
Annabelle has one.
Yeah.
All right.
He did.
It was a great try. Now with the Lord, let's see what RRQ can get, because you can see the potential here for them to really punish any kind of defend attempt is so massive for RRQ, throwing away the Nightmare respawn and now getting that mid turret, just brute forcing it. For sure, every single turret on the outside of the base will be taken. And look at the jungle play from Sutsujin, man. The guy is active as heck every single time. The farming speed is something that this guy has every single time we've seen him in the Land of Dawn.
The good thing though for EVO's Glory, oh actually no. I mean the mid lane, the passive has been broken down. So that is a huge positive coming in for EVOS. And also the top lane, they fell asleep, didn't really realize. Oh, that minion also 3 of them. Actually, they definitely jinxed me.
Wow, no turret
Instant
passives
jinx.
left. Shevin called it out and the Caster Curse immediately takes root.
Now you know how it feels, man.
In the worst way possible.
All right, for EVOs, what's the idea here?
That's a big winner crown.
Even if they take it to the late game, they don't have a crazy late game damage output source. I mean, Brand is on the Lodger that's supposed to be winning in the lane. You're not supposed to really compare and fight against a carry for damage output later on. We've seen Bigatron pull it off though, right? The early game composition, the late game, look at that play!
Edok again and again, this time it's Fluffy! Skylar displaces himself from the curse of blood. Dreams gets brought back by Kyron, who's on a killing spree. The Dominators are sent out of all trying to run away, but he gets caught. Tyron! All the way under the turret! Forcing Clockhood and Brand's back! I'm not too sure about that one, buddy. But he did get the job done. Now both of them will be forced back so far away. RRQ really stepping on the gas pedal right now.
A bit too hot-blooded there from Dyron, but it is a win nonetheless for Rex Rectum Kaon. They're looking to get this turret down, and they did. About the 8k gold lead, but remember, it was the 8k before, and it got turned around with the worst draft to do it. So anything can still happen in this game, especially it's classical derby.
He was just really severely lacking in the damage output at this point. You're saying that RRQ, despite the fact that the Ogi Shadow Kill is casted, the Curse of Blood is casted, they don't care. They just move forward, and they know that as long as they get Fluffy, there is no counter engage available. Now, going for the Lord once more, Dyron has shown that if there's anything you know about him, the man is aggressive. But it's Edok that's making this play. Look at the Spirit of Alpha though.
Oh my god, Fluffy gets 0 this time.
Wow.
Rins in the midst of it all with the Crimson Beacon. Dreams thrown back by Rins. Dreams is not able to buy the immortality, but Skylar gets rid of Clockhood in the mid lane, and Sutsujin just cuts Dreams up there, even with the immortality.
A whole lot of gate over here from RRQ's lineup. Even the Spirit of Alpha is used to brought back one of the members of EVOS. And now Sutsujin will have his way with the Lord. Can they do it, or do they want to end here? No way, right?
You talk about pressure, they're taking the Lord while still pushing every single lane, going for the end potentially.
Wait, go for it. Skylar has the ultimate. They're going to brute force their way into the base. 14 minutes! RRQ Hoshi, the rebuild so far looking amazing.
More than amazing. It's looking perfect. Edok though. What a game. What sets he brings to the King of Kings. They strike first 1-0 for RRQ. Against this very seasoned players in Dreams and Brands, the adjustment hasn't been working in game number 1.
What in the world happened to RRQ? Where is that one-dimensional RRQ that only plays with the gold lane? Look at the jungle, the roam, the EXP! Oh my word! What a different look, man!
Oh man.
We thought that early in the season, there's gonna be an adjustment period. It doesn't seem that way right now.
Trust in Kescute, brother. Remember, and also, if there was any doubt still lingering about who should be the XP of RRQ, yeah, it's always been Dyron. This is the only man that should be XP since R7's departure.
Wow. Looking very confident. Kescute definitely very, very happy. Throwing some gang signs as well. But yeah, incredible game from RRQ. The fans are loving it. You can hear the drums. They're jumping in MPL Arena, waving up the flags of RRQ. The money's worth. They're looking at a successful rebuild, possibly.
That is the new project they've been working on. And boy, you're seeing that it's money well spent. What is going on, man? Wow. What more can you say? They made Fluffy on his signature Terrorista pick look useless. And he was useless.
0-5.
Did you see a massive penalty zone happen at all?
Just one in the early game. First
exactly.
turtle. Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't like game-changing, in a sense. They just completely denied this man's participation completely. If it wasn't him, it was supposed to be the Carmilla, both completely powerless, purifies in the hands of the members of Evos. It doesn't even matter, man. No. The shuffles was definitely a big problem. But ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited drafting phase for game number 2, presented by our official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S24 series. Let's get it.
Strategy once again. Looking for a better draft in game number 2. And also, Cute looking to draft a Cutie Patootie lineup for their team. Cutie Patootie.
There was nothing cute about that lineup. That lineup was dangerous, aggressive, scary, terrorizing.
Okay. But still, overall, the same bans here, except he actually banned the Hayabusa, even though doesn't seem like much of a trouble in game number 1. Cute, once again, a first phase. Do they want to still go for that? Maybe Edith or Jushin?
I think the Edith is gonna be a bit better. I mean, I've been very vocal ever since I was I think that in the previous tournaments I've been in, I've been saying that the Edith is just such a strong pick, and the flex, of course, makes it so it's just so flexible and it's so useful in so many situations, aggressive or defensive.
And I think you can say the same thing about the Hylos that has been left open this time, right?
The Hunts.
Oh boy.
The Hunts.
Hey, we'll see. Will it happen? Will we see the Hylos? That's
that's a good matchup, by the way.
And the Roger.
Well, now is RRQ gonna take the Hylos?
Oh, we'll see, we'll see.
I don't know about that, man.
I think it's possible. I don't see why not.
They'll remove the flex of the Edith. That is a negative of picking the Hylos here. But they get an extremely broken pick, I would say. I mean,
right.
100% win rate. Hylos gets you wins based on yesterday's matches at least.
And against the Sushin, dude, it is awful to go up against a Hylos because you just get ran over. And there's no way you're gonna output enough damage to shut down the Hylos, right?
Yeah.
It's just way too much. Your mana runs out before you can do it.
It definitely fits for RQ here.
Come on, Dexter.
By the way, that's only
Signature pick. Oh boy.
Skyla.
Oh wow.
On that Claude. Still eat up, I believe. Surely, still with this Ruby.
Are you sure about that? It's still a flex.
Well, it's still a flex, but looking at the previous match or previous game, it looks like Edog is much more comfortable with that Edith, and also a bit more dynamic, I would say. But looking at the history of Rinsya before, now it's only Rins, second place of SPS, Southeast Asia with RQ Senna, first place MPL IDC Season 8, and also second place in Season 9 after getting reverse swept by Geek Fam 4-3.
Exactly. Also, first phase for Dreams. Minotaur pickup here for Dreams, but yeah, the Hylos has been left open. Maybe RQ with them letting it go. They're actually like baiting Evos into a plan that they have. So Evos are like, you know what? That's a bit crazy that you left open the Hylos, you know, and you didn't pick it up yourself. That's kind of crazy, Kescu. We're not gonna play into your plans.
Oh, I was gonna say Hylos jungler.
Oh, they banned it away now though, because in the second phase,
I don't
Evos,
think so, bro.
I think it's possible, bro.
We saw that back in the day.
Well, back in the day,
Was
but right
Mr.
now,
Wise on it? You remember?
yeah, but right now, I don't think it's very wise because you don't only have that much farming potential. That's why.
You do though.
It's not that bad.
You clear very fast.
Compared to Nolan, compared to Julian, like, well,
Yeah, maybe that's why they wanted to ban the Julian and then set up for it.
But those are assassin fighters, and Hylos is a fighter tank, you know?
I guess.
You have to compare him with apples to apples type stuff, you know? Like maybe like a, I don't know, like a
Bane? I think a Bane even clears faster, right?
Oh,
for
Bane
sure,
is even
100%.
faster.
Yeah. But right now, strategy already banned 2 magical damage, quote-unquote, assassins. For RRQ, it's Julian and also Joy.
Wow, 4 assassin bans.
Yeah. Looking like Kyrie here, Sutsujin.
Okay, Sutsujin, we weren't familiar with your game.
I see. All right, CC has the last ban, so they want to limit. I think that what they're trying to do is make sure that the front line here is going to be vulnerable, punishable, and if they can, they want to make Dreams the main front line so that he can't really counter-engage, especially with the threat of the Sushin making things confusing. That can be quite dangerous. But from the looks of it, I mean, they can still go for the Zask technically for RRQ. I don't know, when the Alpha.
Oh, wow. Okay, this time, it's my turn, bro. Oh, no. Okay.
Let's go.
We have some bad experience here with Yves, especially in the grand finals.
Yeah, MSC grand
It never
finals.
worked out, bro. It never worked out. But let's see, though, in MPL Indonesia Season 14, against this kind of lineup, maybe this is a pick that's specialized to go against the Jushin.
Oh, what?
I am not a big fan of the Nolan pick here.
I mean, technically you can jump on the Tsushin, but again, it's a very safe type of mid laner. Unless this final pick is vulnerable, I don't see who exactly the Nolan is supposed to target. If you have enough farm, maybe the Alpha?
Benedetta?
They can go to Rizla again, honestly. They really want to set up for the Alpha. Have a beefy front line, to say the least.
They want more damage or they want more setup here? That's the question. Can we go for something like an export, maybe?
Oh,
if they want more survivable?
Oh,
yeah,
something that we haven't seen very often. Even in ranked game, I believe Yujong is kind of dying down compared to the other XP laners that has a lot more sustainability. But right now, when you're up against a Yves that can be targeted, why not? The dragon is there.
Oh man, it's looking kind of sketchy right here, but you have to remember, if the Yves doesn't get put under control, that's good wave clear, that's amazing utility, that can kind of stop the Tsushin as well from moving forward, right, due to the short range. And the scaling on the Void Blast has been increased if I'm not mistaken, so it's a lot of damage, man. You absolutely pack a punch in that hero. Only if you have protection though, but with an Eden and Ruby, I think it's not impossible.
We're going to take a look at some of the stats from both of these two teams. Look at that survivability and controllability from EVOS Glory. Very, very huge compared to RRQ when you have those kind of frontliners. Let's see though, game number 2 of chapter 32 between these old rivals. It's been years. This team has been duking it out. It's game number 2 of EVOS Glory versus Rex Regum Chaos.
Here we go. What is potentially the final game, or possibly an equalizer, but we have to literally wait and see. Talking about the compositions yet again, man. I feel like Evo's now in a team fight with a Minotaur, with an Alpha and a Yuzong, and a Tsushin too. They're the ones with all the utility right now. If there's anything that our Hoshi really has as an advantage, I feel like it's just pick off and chase potential. Yep. Although, keep in mind, every single time we've seen a team kind of outplay heavily another team, it's using that mobility. It's using the speed difference. Now with a Yves, you almost by default have a team-wide movement speed difference because you can slow the whole team, and the Yves also runs a lot faster.
It's a technical break, everybody, with Campina. Grab your Campina and shove it down your throat because it's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think you want to shove it in, you know, because you want to really just taste.
Oh, you have to have the whole experience right away, bro. In one go.
I mean, that's what Renmar usually does. Like when he eats, especially fruits.
Really?
Yeah. He eats banana very fast. He just shoves it in his mouth.
That's kind of sus.
Just, that's exactly the sound he makes. I really wonder, you know. I mean, at this point, we're gonna call all the other Filipino towns and the international towns. They gotta come to MPL ID. So that they can consume Campina, and maybe then we can ask them if they drink or eat Campina.
Maybe there's a cultural difference, Shevin. Maybe you're just a bit too international for us over here in Indonesia. But man,
I don't know.
Campina. I remember this brand from my childhood, man. I remember they used to have like these ice cream like carts, I guess, attached to bicycles, and they would just like ride around right in front of your house.
Oh, my favorite though. Yeah. You have to taste the durian one. If you like durian.
There's a durian one?
Yeah.
Durian. In a cup in our town room?
No, not in our town room. I'm gonna ask for that.
Okay.
Definitely. Because it's my favorite. But Marshall Danning, thank you so much for continuing the game. We're back at it again in game number 2 of EVOS versus RRQ. Nothing really going on so far. Only 40 seconds has elapsed.
All right, so a big thing I want to mention is that Rinz is going for the flicker. So bit of playmaking potential, but when it's coming down, when it comes down to avoiding the Yuzong, avoiding a chase down, usually I would like to go for a sprint if I know I'm going to be targeted. So against all these fighters, there's a lot of ways for Evo to really punish and chase down Rinz, unless it becomes a team effort to try and save him. Looking at the emblems by GameSmax here, Dreams also went for the Inspire, so more knockups, more heals overall, but he won't be as tanky. And this is the problem here. He is most likely going to be the main frontline here. I don't think Fluffy on the Yuzong wants to be the main frontline. So if the main frontline is the Minotaur, then we've seen it before. You can just jump on the Minotaur, take him out before you can get the Minion Fury out, and just like that, you're down one hero.
Speaking of sprint, Arashi.
Yeah,
Skylar using a sprint against a Minotaur, against an Alpha, and also Yuzong. This is quite brave from Skylar.
Agreed.
Even for his standard, man, because like when you go in, gets knocked up one time, you're toast.
Yeah, it depends on how he goes in for sure. If he doesn't really get bothered by the crowd control though, if his team can force out a lot of these knockups, a lot of these stuns, and he can have a great time just chasing or kiting back from the Roger, from the Yutong and the Alpha, right? All the fighters. I'm thinking that's the idea behind it. But look at Sutsujin, man. Looking up at the clear speed, it's somewhat equal, but he's going to be forced to back away, man. This turtle in the early game, I think it's a bit too dangerous for RRQ to go for.
So much more set up for Evo's glory for the turtle here, especially with the Alpha. Edok actually getting chunked quite low there, and Annabelle will be able to just take that for himself. Turtle number 1 going to the White Tigers.
I gotta say, I'm a bit more happy that RRQ didn't really take that because they know they have not really the greatest setup in terms of drafting, especially when you have a Nolan that doesn't have that purple buff. It's best for you to just take the purple and just get away and somehow try to use any kind of maybe map pressure in the other side of the map, but they didn't really do that. Well, though, in the bottom lane, Skylar is kind of losing here against France, to be expected.
Bit of aggression though. So he gets picked up and avoids Dreams very, very easily. The lethal control though from Annabelle. Revenge for game number 1. You're seeing RRQ kind of playing it slow, and you wonder if they are just confused on what to do, or are they waiting for a specific moment right here? 1 or 2 out on power strikes will be great, but Edok gets jumped on.
Great, I'm offended.
I don't know.
But Annabelle might be able to actually turn this around. Now Edok popped up, thrown back. First blood to Annabelle. So Sutsujin walking forward, forcing Dreams to flicker out. Oh, real world inflation. Ritz gets popped up. What? But with the anti-CC, the interaction, Annabelle running away. Oh, Skylar with a blazing duet takes 2. So Sutsujin ran down by Brand. Skylar jumping back to the BMI. Now as Rince tries to poke him down from afar. Slowly but surely, taking Brand's very low. That's a slam back onto Skylar. But Rince picks the kill up. Skylar with a BMI. Throw him back again. That's some damage to slow down. They can't go for the chase. Not this time around, but RRQ get immense value out of that skirmish.
Oh, baby, it's a triple. I was gonna say that Skylar doesn't have the item yet to pop off and use that blazing duet to make a difference in a team fight. But who am I to say that, man? It's Skylar. Early game Claude doesn't really matter. Looking at the audience prediction though, Rashi, you're quite happy with that, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, Shavin wants to extend an apology. Sorry, Skylar. I didn't know you roll like that. But man, immediately going in aggressive, getting his blazing duet stopped by Dreams, by the way. But at that point, the damage is already done. Brands tried to save it as well, but he had no mana, right? No mana. Getting pushed away by Wins, and now the next turtle fight here. Will RRQ actually try and make a play happen?
Black Dragon form, Edok knocked up. They say, nah, we don't want to go for the turtle. We know that you have the composition to win that, so we won't take the fight with your advantage. Sutsujin is actually waiting in that bush. If Clockwood walks up, this could be dangerous. Oh, he just steals it, Sutsujin!
The smooth criminal Sutsujin!
As I said, man, when you don't get the turtle, try to make it up somewhere else. And Sutsujin read that one perfectly.
Ooh, look at that. I'm offended though. Sutsujin going for Dreams.
Trying to force out the minion's fury. Edok. Oh, he gets up barely. Oh, no. Drop back to the team now. Goes in. Minion's fury baited out. What? Sutsujin first Dreams down. Wow. Either Sutsujin has gone his item power spikes or Dreams is just extremely squishy.
He has a Hunter Strike. But Dreams, like I said, he went for the Inspire, by the way, mind you. No firmness. I believe he did not go for the Tenacity as well. He's going to be a lot squishier. He can't be the main frontline right here, but look at Annabelle going into Sutsujin.
Oh my Sutsujin! Oh my goodness! Annabelle taking down the lethal ignition. Sutsujin walking forward. Ritz picks up the kill. Now trying to dash away. Moving forward. Clockwood going for it. Beacon down. Sutsujin still there. And man, Edok tried to save him with the flicker and the Dome Run Wolf King. He almost did. In the end, it'll just end up being a trade. Brands rotating into the mid lane. Rince has to respect this, and he does.
The idol is taking down the discipline. Fluffy, I don't know about that, bro. Still has the passive there to fight with Tyron. Actually, now it's an equal ground for Fluffy and Tyron.
You have to keep in mind, though, that Darwin has no ulti right there. Look at Skylar, though, doing Skylar things on the Claude. When is the last time you've seen Skylar have so much space to make solo plays, man?
Season 10?
Oh, man.
Oh, 11 with Naomi.
It's such a nostalgic sight at this point. Man, now RRQ are actually still controlling, and with the next objective being a turtle still, I think they might just really wait for the Lord to go for something decisive.
And what I like about this Claude pick is the fact that in game number 1, you're a carry, right? You're relying on your teammates' set and pickoffs. But right now, Skyhook can make a play on its own. As long as you...
Oh,
okay. Clockwood with a good dodge.
Yeah. Now the Black Dragon from Sutsujin. Come on! Oh, what a steal from Sutsujin! They were on equal footing! Annabelle tries to go in, it is Fury's Rims, able to flicker out the safety Dream, still able to find a knock-up now. Is that giving the Fury's dive all the way to the back line? But they're fighting in the real world manipulation of Rims. Now Annabelle Kite and Sutsujin coming back in. Rims with the double. Edok thrown back, Brans going in now, has the Purified Lord trying to go for the onward. Brans versus Sutsujin this time around. Like, oh, no, get away from her! Sutsujin traded, Dyron Earth shatters Skyler, getting him down. Dyron's just baiting him, and now Flock must fall to the guns of Skyler.
Get Sutsujin and the whole RRQ squad to Nusa Kambangan, man, because that was a criminal. He's stealing everything, and the whole RRQ team just baiting and scamming Evos.
Wow, Sutsujin. They're reminding the freshmen that there are levels to this game, man. You can just hop in and expect to take control. Wow, RRQ, they made it messy, and Evos were able to pick up a couple of kills there as well, but they're the ones with the early game skirmish. They are the ones with the team fight. RRQ were able to lure them in, pull them into a fight in the middle of the real-world manipulation. That worked out perfectly for them. Now it's back to the waiting game, but man, Sutsujin in particular, he's just an absolute menace. So much damage, man.
Yep. But the good thing, though, Brans is on equal footing with Skyler, surprisingly. After a whole lot of kills secured by Skyler, these 3-0-1 compared to 2-2 from Brans. So good job for Evos putting this gold onto the right person, and it shows up in the fight earlier. They actually gained something out of it.
All right, looking at the rest of the items though, that's going to be a glowing one for the side of RRQ. Rins has the glowing one, lowering the shielding and regeneration. That's going to work on almost everyone, by the way, on the side of Evo, so it's a value pickup. On top of that, Enchanted Talisman soon, meaning more slows, more spams. But I'm waiting for the next item, right? Is it going to be more damage, or is it going to be like an Ice Queen's one to increase that utility? Because you can see the kite back from the side of RRQ is already so good. Even before something like an Ice Queen's one, as I called it, now Evos will be struggling to chase and run away.
But you have that great Dragon Spear from Brans to kind of counter that. Meanwhile, though, oh my goodness gracious, no way, this is a steal!
Oh, Evos can steal themselves. Edok! I'm offended over to Annabelle, who still has a Spear of Alpha. Now Earth Shadow not connecting. Edok displaced, and Clocken finishes him off. Ooh, defensive Spear of Alpha. Oh! With a flicker forward! What was that, Skyler? Jumping forward with the BMI, but now the Minions Fury and everything coming down will take them out. Sutsujin trying to go for the assassination. Brans with the chase. Sutsujin able to escape. And it's a win for Evos. They equalize the gold lead.
The Kings are slipping just a little bit, and the White Tigers wakes them up with a Fallen Lord. That was a beautiful call for Evos. Whoever did that, shout out to you.
And a quick steal onto the Lord right there. It's a great attempt for Rins to try and save that fight, start off a fight that can maybe capitalize on. Now with the Lord though, Skyler left alone for now. Evo's trying to find ways to use this pressure as efficiently as possible. The clock on!
Oh man.
Deleted. Just
Incredible.
like that.
Incredible set once again from Edok. Getting one before the Lord is crashing down, so right now, Evos is man down. They don't really want to go for anything, I believe, in this kind of scenario. Even Brans has to get away from the fractures of Sutsujin. Meanwhile, the Tyrant looking for a pick here.
Oh man. Conceal. Edok wants to go for it. Spear of Alpha defensively. Edok has the I'm offended, but he doesn't have the flicker, so he can't gap close in time. And Evos decide, hey, this guy's a bit too scary. Let's move back, man.
Yep. As good as it gets, by the way, Arashi. The damage control after the Lord, they don't really convert to any turrets whatsoever, I believe, right?
And again, they're still scaling to the late game. It's still very much in line with what they want to do. And even for Fluffy on the Yuzong, we were thinking that it's a value click, it's gonna really deny the Eve. But so far, I mean, RQ is doing a great job playing around it. And when it comes to the macro, I think they were really winning it out. But with that Lord, I feel like when it comes to structures, I believe Evos is up by one turret right here. But you can see
oh yeah,
the effectiveness, the fact that they have a proper front line, the fact that they can send Dyron and Dyron and Edok there to just tank up some damage to potentially go for a catch. The same thing can't be said for Evos. If they get caught in a weird situation, they're gonna be forced to expand the Spear of Alpha or the Black Dragon form, and they can't really afford to do that right now.
now it's a bit more equal in this game. 1.6k gold lead, basically almost just like an item for RRQ. Still very manageable, and right now it definitely could have gone either way in this game. So Chujin will handle the far lane against Dreams and Brands as Skylar gets one. Meanwhile though, oh my goodness.
He gets out too. Almost. Oh, he forced Dreams back.
That's 1v2.
By the way, I mean, look at the positioning, right? The whole map, technically, there's vision on the whole map by just placement. We saw that Sujin was standing there in the jungle on top side. I end up though goes for Fluffy.
Oh, he baited out the real world inflation. That's two big resources baited out now. So Sujin, whoa, Brands. Luckily he has the motivation roar because that was a chunk of his HP that was taken away from him.
Look at Skylar just aggressively trying to harass, trying to do damage. The poke damage from the Yve now is where it's going to be so valuable. With the wave still pushing on the top side, I think it's still pushing for the side of RRQ. But look at the damage, man, from the Yve.
Oh my goodness! Finding Dreams. So Sujin going to be chased down right now as Dyron gets completely dismantled by Kokun and Annabelle. Together with Brands obviously there.
Wow. He did not even get to pop the Primal Wrath right there. If he did, it would have been a whole different fight. So at least the targeting from the side of Evos is still very much on point. They just focus down the right target, but look at the conceal play by Edok.
Gonna go for it again.
Ooh,
Still
wow.
no flicker though this time. So Sujin gets some space. Look at that though.
Now top lane, I think it's gonna push towards RRQ. At this point, someone's gonna take care of that. Meanwhile, Annabelle getting pulled.
Let's go in.
Oh,
Flicker
no!
on Rins. What an outplay! Reads the Spear of Alpha. Now Skylar BMI forward. No Annabelle means no Lord for you. RRQ.
Wow.
Brilliantly played.
Supreme bait, hook, line, and sinker. Annabelle getting baited out to a Spear of Alpha towards nothing and gets punished with a real manipulation.
Also read by Dyron as well. This is insane, man. Aside from the execution, the discipline that is being done by RRQ, even the mental game, right? The mind games, the bluffs, the reads here from RRQ is just so much better. With this Lord, with the high ground available, RRQ need to be careful here. Evos have a chance to go for a desperate play as they're setting up, as RRQ are trying to manage the waves. But look at Sujin, man, just spamming it out.
And look at Edok, the pseudo pressure, even though he's not really in range for the I'm offended, everyone just backs off knowing he has the flicker to make a play. That respect over a rookie, by the way.
Lord in the bottom lane doing a bit of damage. Now conceal, good zoning away. Sujin, oh my goodness! Finds it, I'm offended! Rim's gonna be engaged upon now with the real world motivation plays down. It's gonna be the Black Dragon for him to dive all the way to the back. Sujin still waiting in the midst of it all right now. A good petrify. Find Rim, Brands taken out by Sujin. That's the assassination. Skylar and Sujin still alive. Oh my god, the blazing duet! Skylar going the clock, not enough damage to take him down just yet. And Sujin is able to escape from Fluffy. Two base turrets taken away by RRQ Hoshi.
They're one man down over EVOS, but all in all, that was definitely a benefitable trade from RRQ getting those turrets, Rocky. Looking at the items, what's going on here?
Look at the items. I mean, there's a Thunder Belt for Dyron that's still going to be scaling up. And on top of that, with the Ice Queen's one and the Divine Glaive already completed right here for Rins, I do wonder if the last item is going to be something like a Brute Force Breastplate, just for the extra survivability. Because you see that for Evos, they're really trying to fight aggression with aggression. And it's kind of working out. They do have a lot of burst damage, factually, in their composition. So whenever they see Rins use the ultimate, they just go towards Rins instead of backing away and risk getting caught in the real-world manipulation and taking more damage. As a result of that, they were able to actually fight back right there, but they did lose two base turrets. And RRQ very much still has all the control. I think for Evos, they have to find a way to save Dreams. Either kind of counter-engage when he gets jumped on, or kind of send someone else to be the main front line to get caught, because Dreams is the absolute target right here, again and again. Whenever Edok sees him, he's in the mood for grief.
For sure, man. I think that's a winning condition. Once you lose the set, then really what's your solution here? You can't really just jump on with a Fluffy and being the helmet of the team fight once Dreams is gone, because that Minion's Fury is very useful.
The recalls.
Yeah. At this part of the game, and now the Lord is coming up in about 7 seconds. Let's see. Takes two to tango, and now let's dance once again.
Oh man, Lord dances are going to be so brutal for Evos, man. They do have Dreams that can kind of dispense HP continuously, but at the same time, that's just so much damage coming through from long range. And look at Edok.
Going on to Annabelle.
Wow.
Oh no!
Black Dragon
There you
for him
go!
now. No dragon, no fight is what a wise man once said. And RQ, they definitely took those wise words very well.
If Victor is watching the screen, he's gonna scream, "Dragon for what? What are you doing?"
Shout out, Victor.
Yeah.
Man, that is unreal. It's such a clean performance. For the longest time, RRQ, I'm not saying they're not clean, but they're usually more exciting, more crazy. Look at this now. Oh,
They're still exciting, all right. But
man.
when they have the advantage, they are. If not, they'll play it just with the fundamentals. They don't need to risk it.
The fact that he flickered right away after the initial engage was
Yep.
huge, man. That was proper respect, right? You didn't really know what's coming. You were a Minotaur. You were a beefy beef, you know?
Hey, hey.
A beefy beef?
Yeah.
Beefy beef. Depends
Beef
on
beef.
how well you cook them, I guess. So it's a
Whoa.
chip. Walking up, Tyron has the conceal there to go with Adok. Again, they bait out the dragon. Buffy jumping in. He's going to be gunned down from the skies. Edok still able to withstand a little damage. Buffy jumps in with a penetrify, but isn't able to find anyone. And now will be caught under a real world manipulation. Skylar finding ways to do an Annabelle. Only with a winning crown just for a bit. Trees finally jumps in, but he gets melted down. The Brand hasn't liked it. Bounce Ken going for it. Minion Fury cancelled by killing him. For the longest time, the kingdom could only witness the glory of Evos. Today, the kingdom's calls have been answered.
Chapter 32 came to a close with the White Tigers bowing down before the king's throne. What a display of skills from the debutants of the Fortress. Edok, Tyron back at it again, Sun Sujin, and also Skylar and Prince.
Skylar in the back seat. Skylar playing to scale. And yet RRQ is looking more menacing than ever, man. Is this the final form? Was Cascute the missing key? Let's take a look at the final few moments, man. Sunsujin zoning everyone from the side right here. Just baiting everything out. Look at that, Skylar coming in last second. Knowing that now he has the time to just pick and choose when he wants to go in. Brands and Dreams just not allowed, bro. Completely denied. No play for you right there. They were able to withstand the early game from Evos, an early game team. And they're able to draw it out to that late game and make it just an absolute masterclass. The bluffs, the reads. Everyone has their eyes on RRQ right now, bro.
But you don't have to order a massage for Skylar after games right now because he is as healthy as ever. You see the hot patches, but he is smoking hot in the Land of Dawn. And the fans are getting their money's worth.
And 55% technically to 48. I mean, for the most part, when it comes to total battles, even in all the raids as well, Nile does have the advantage right here. But we were talking about this earlier. The two of them have some very contrasting styles, right? One of them wants to be a bit more subtle. The other one prefers to be a bit flashier. And honestly, considering there's so much shakeup in the rosters, man, I feel like both styles can work. It all comes down to the drafting phase and the game plan, right? Yep. Even if you want to go for a slow, calculative approach, you can try and do that. If you're going to go for aggressive early game, crazy mechanics, you can do that too.
For sure, Nile is the flashier one and also the more expressive one, sometimes a little bit too much. And let's hope that Alter Ego will somehow, contain that explosiveness and also expressiveness with Wrecked on the helmet. In Waldoki's the victory presented by Samsung Galaxy S24 series for Geek.
To capitalize on Vincent's retribution skills and give Grubs an enabler hero so he can kind of catch Alter Ego off guard, almost gobsmack them, you know, by surprise, and have rotations to the gold lane and punish Hyze's over aggressiveness, because we've seen that in Alter Ego, Hyze just really likes being so aggressive. He likes having control over that lane, and that can very easily be exploited right here, especially if he's given a gold laner that's a bully, right? It kind of instinctively forces you to kind of push up and be aggressive and be unsafe. For Alter Ego though, return to their early aggressive style that can work very well and force Vincent to do assassin face-offs against Nile. He's a very capable jungler, and with the right setup, with the right backup from the laners, he can very much match up against Geek Fam right here and be aggressive and take over the game. It all comes down to whether or not the laners are given the right tools to be able to really send backup, send help towards the jungler to ensure that overall across the map they do have a say in where the fight happens.
And maybe use the power of the unknown, right? Because they've been playing in MDL, they don't really play in SBS, so there's really not much scouting to be done for all this player, Owen and Roundel. You can watch the MDL matches, but it's gonna be different in MPL. You have to adjust and maybe change up your game plan to kind of suit your team a little bit more, kind of suits up Aldo's preference and strategy.
How are you feeling about Aldo, though, right? Back as head coach here. He took a season off of that head coach position because he's always been a head coach. And Onyx back in the day for season 8, 9, and then 10, moved to Biggerton Alpha, became the head coach, was able to bring BTR to 3rd place in season 12. And then season 13, stepped down as analyst for Alter Ego.
And by the way, I believe Aldo also is the one who scouted Nile, right?
And Owen.
Nile,
And
Owen.
D.
Yeah, even Kyrie, the one who...
Lutfi.
Yeah. So this man is known for, you know, digging up some diamonds in Indonesia or even in the Philippines. Yep. Speaking of scouting though.
Yeah, Jeffrin's definitely in the building for scouting here for Geek Fam, maybe. Maybe he's the one who makes the selections.
No, I'm gonna
for
be
the
there
players.
as a brand ambassador.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Big announcement here on the desk, ladies and gentlemen. Down to the drafting phase presented by our official tournament smartphone, Samsung Galaxy S24 series. All the assassins, aggressive picks right here, and a lot of assassins. Fanny, Harith, and the Hayabusa banned away by GeekFam. And for Alter Ego, the Chip and Ling. A lot more default, but usually the last pick, the last ban right here gets kind of interesting, especially with the Zask open, the Chushin open, the Hylas open. A lot of the big heroes we've seen kind of be critical to victory are still allowed to be left open right here by both teams.
So yeah, a lot of options here, especially when you have new additions to the lineup. Let's see what Aldo has to say in the last man of the first phase
I
here.
see lots
It is
of
going to be
gray.
Roger. Very annoying with its flexibility and also durability as a damage dealer. Sometimes it's just a little bit too much to handle. Meanwhile though, blue side, Bluffsy. What is it cooking for the first pick? Oh, Moskov. That is something that we haven't seen, I believe, in season 14. A first pick,
Yeah.
Moskov on the blue side.
So, immense prio for Chadera. Despite obviously, you know, you mentioned, I mean, everything is left open right now. The Zask, the Juicin, the Hylos. So for
Edith.
Alter Ego, actually, it's quite difficult to choose these heroes. Maybe that's the plan for Geek Fam. They know they're going to get either one, Juicin or Zask, so might as well just pick the Moscow first.
And also, might be eyeing for a better respawn for the first 2 picks from Alter Ego so you can strategize better in the second phase. Maybe that's what they're going to go for, but Arashi, first 2 picks, it's going to be Edith and Valentina. Quite standard, I gotta say. A lot of flexibility on that Edith. Nino can play this one, Owen can play this one. Hey.
Oh, my goodness.
How can we forget? We haven't mentioned it at all.
I mean, we haven't forgotten. It's just more of like, we haven't seen it at all. It's not meta right now, especially with the nerfs towards the Hellcurt.
Yep, the regeneration.
But as the man once said, this man from TikTok, he said, "Lu bukan Baloy. You're not Baloy. You can't pull off the Hellcurt roam. So if it is Baloy, we can expect this. Yeah, for sure, Hellcurt.
I mean, you can take Beloy away from the assassins, but you can't take the assassins out of Beloy, man. This man wants to be aggressive, but as of right now,
He's gonna be BPB. Big play Baloy soon.
big play Beloy. Very possible with the Julian as well. A lot of burst damage available for Geek Fam. But for Alter Ego right here, they have the Edith, they have the Valentina, both kind of really good against heroes that want to burst them down, right? Good survivability, good mobility, as well as crowd control. This could be a great move right here. If they want to just hype up the durability, the Hylas could be a good pick right here, and it can kind of match with the you know, how pesky the Hellcurt is. All right, man, we have an assassin versus tech matchup potentially in the roaming department. We haven't seen this in a long time.
And best believe he's gonna use Orbital Eyes. Let me tell you that.
For sure.
Best believe.
Best believe, you know? I mean, Coach Rect, when he was a player, when he made his debut for Alter Ego, he played the Uranus with Revitalize. So you best believe that he's going to be putting in a good word for the Revitalize spell.
Yeah, and Coach Aldo is banning on some of the EXP option here for Geek Fam. I'm expecting him to ban EXPs that kind of have, Terizla that has that durability, or maybe a Barats, so that Beloy will have a harder time, I guess, to open up the map because you are a Halkard. You are very prone to getting picked off in the end of the day because you are an assassin.
And right now for GigFam, they banned with the Alpha as well, which is interesting because if you look at it, I guess they already have a jungler, technically, but they're lacking a lot of ways to really deal with the Hylas. The fact that they showed the Moscow so early on means they can't go for the carry. So usually they'll be forced to go for a different solution, or maybe they'll do exactly what Miko was talking about just yesterday, right? Instead of trying to stop the Hylas, ignore him. Find ways to go with the mobility and dive in the backline, and the Moscow can't do that, and so can the Halkard, and so can the Julian.
Look at this.
History of Gops. First place in MPL Indonesia Season 8. First place in MPL Indonesia Season 9 with GigFam ID Junior, and also 9 to 10th place in MPL Season 6. Should I tell you this story, the tale of the reverse sweep once again?
Yeah.
Or, Arashi is here. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Right, so GigFam Junior. Shut it, bro. They reverse swept RQ Senna and MDL. 3-0 up and then 4-3. Those with Gops and Masako. So part of that lineup that reverse swept RQ Senna, MDL, is now here with GigFam in MPL.
Can you believe it? 4 games in a row you're losing? You lost that one.
Were you trying to make
grand final?
Kind of really emphasizing that performance, Chevin.
I'm just trolling. I'm sorry, RG fans. I'm just trolling, right? But it's going to be carry.
Wow, carry.
Interesting, because there's really not much of a frontliner here from GigFam.
I guess they're expecting Terizla.
Or maybe like you're up against a Beloy, like so he is already pretty beefy, I guess. So carry is pretty good against him.
Hey man, I mean, I don't know, the Halkard isn't really that beefy, you know? He's kind of squishy.
Beloy itself.
I think he lost a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, that's good for him actually.
He's right now a lot more athletic, looking like the old Beloy, the basketball days.
Absolutely.
For those of you who know about it, Sushin though picked up 4th pick, by the way.
Oh my God.
That's definitely an unfamiliar sight, but the Arlet making an appearance as well. Fortunately, it won't be Luke that we're used to seeing on the side of GigFam. Last pick for Ultra Ego though.
Ooh. So they haven't picked a jungler, I believe.
Yeah.
Unless they want to get super creative with the highless jungler. Bringing up that meta once again.
Lancelot?
They're hovering, yes, definitely hovering around
Nolong.
An assassin here.
Joy. Lancelot.
Ooh.
We're hovering over everything at this point. Easton Shin too.
I'm on.
Hey.
Okay. Obama is gonna be delighted.
Oh, it's really
the return of No, don't
us?
you dare, Niall. Okay.
Ooh, Lancelot. So it is something that we haven't really seen that often, considering that there's better option, I believe, in the jungle.
Petals fall.
I feel like Nolan is just a better version of Lancelot, or is it just me?
Who?
Nolan.
I don't think so. I think Lancelot, I mean, for Nolan, maybe in terms of dealing damage, it's more reliable, right? You don't really need to land a skill shot, and your skill shot is massive. For sure. Lancelot, you have much more ways. Like, you're way more creative with how you actually tackle team fights with your skills, and you're much more mobile, to be fair, if there are, things around you.
Yep, but the risk is higher, definitely. No one can get away a bit more easier, I believe. The in and out game is much more, I guess, present. But Lancelot, you don't really have that mobility that Nolan has when you go in, I believe.
Wait a minute, I mean, when it comes to just mobility and output potential, the invulnerability, I think the Lancelot has a lot more advantage. Nolan really shines when you're just forced to just dash away straightforwardly. If you're fighting around areas of focus with minions, with jungle creeps available, then the Lancelot can absolutely be a masterclass in assassin performance. But Shevin, this is the first game.
La Familia, the value of families will be tested in this game number 1 of GigFam versus Alter Ego. And right away, a boy getting some good damage on Rondo. That might be a flicker there.
Yeah, Beloy was already just hunting for prey there. Saw someone get knocked up, get pulled back. I guess this is the combo with Halkard. So usually with Juicin, you want someone to actually clear fast. Rondo actually dodging it for the stingers there. Well played, but gets brought back. Rondo. But after you use the flicker, first blood over to Beloyski, gets to reach a diamond! Didn't go for it, Beloy gets out!
What was that?
Wow.
That was quite weird. And also the overextension over and over again from Roundel. I guess this is the welcome to MPL ID moment for this guy. Meanwhile, the Beloyski, almost.
The Beloy aura sent Niall back, that's what it is.
Once again, they're really just not respecting the CCs coming in from a boy, I guess. Just trying to play around it.
Aloy right there goes on to Owen, forces the Earth Shatter. Whew, as Vincent steals away a few camps.
All right, we have a bit of a slowdown here. Let's talk about the emblems by GamesMax. Heist and Chidera both with the tenacity, respecting the damage potential. Beloyski though with the Master Assassin emblem and Rupture. He is attempting to be that secondary assassin here. Whereas for a boy and for Gobs, it's all about sustain, right? We've seen the power of a sustainable team. They can withstand a lot of damage. And for GeekFam, they want to play the long game. They want to make sure that their guy can get the hit as much as possible. They can get a boy to just cast that Lantern Flare for as long as possible. And looking at the farming game right here, it seems to be somewhat equal, but Vincent comes into the bottom side.
Takes away that gold crab really, really easily. The Beloy effect is real, man. He's man-marking Nile everywhere he goes. Right now, he can deal some damage more and more. Rondo looking to get that ultimate from Dushin while looking.
Terrify into the Stingers. As always providing focus. Vincent actually starts up the turtle, but will reset it.
Just wait around for this, and in the gold lane, there's always a chance for Chidera to come in with the Spear of Destruction. The lane seems to be going quite even for now, and we haven't seen that oppressive high-loss presence just yet. Nino is level 4 with the Revitalize. We've seen how this plays out before, man. There's not nearly enough damage, I believe, in the heads of GeekFam right now, but they do have the crowd control advantage. If they really want to rely on that, on the long fight, they have to be careful about Owen's Primal Wrath as well if he gets level 4 off this wave.
Interesting objective setup from both teams here. There's really not much of a urgency, I guess, towards the turtle. Meanwhile, though, Nino will try to get some info here.
Yeah, they've scouted on Nile already. A boy, actually, Crimson Beacon throwing Rondo into the turtle. Terrifying, and the execute used up, and Rondo's still able to escape by the stolen Crimson Beacon. And a Flicker by himself. A boy flickers out to safety. Now it's Nino caught Vincent. Dealing with the high loss, Owen unable to get the Earth Shatter. Now it's a good final slash, and Vincent wins out the Red Tree battle. Owen's next to the chopping block, and Vincent on the Julian is just eating good.
I think that was the worst way to start your career in MPL Indonesia. Owen, I believe he misclicked his onward and also the flicker 2 times. Error from the roamer of Alter Ego.
He was trying to land the Earth Shatter, tried to flicker to adjust the angle last second, but it did not work out. Again, a Talon's prediction, it's all for GeekFam, and looking at the situation right here, they're on track to make those predictions a reality. For Alter Ego, the fact that Nino on the high list there was forced to expend the Revitalize so early on when he wasn't focused down, he wasn't going in with his team, was just so unfortunate, and now look at him. He's getting pushed back.
Glorious pathway in though. Cobbs is right there. Beloyski's actually getting chunked super low. Beloyski's still there. Vincent will be able to deal with Nino, but it's going to be a trade for the roamer. Good final slash over to Rondo right now. The Crimson Beacon. Oh, Brace Nile back. The Earth Shatter not connecting. Gobbs to the back line. Distracting Nile as Owen gets chain CC'd, and Gobbs just takes the value out of it. Owen, defensive Primal Wrath, trying to escape. Vincent's still running him down. Good immobilization there. The GeekFam will be forced to stop this chase.
You know you're doing something wrong when the horse is getting picked up 2 times in 4 minutes, and even Vincent taking Nile's lunch money. This is looking pretty bleak for GeekFam. Already 3k gold lead in 4 minutes.
We were talking about how the horse can be so oppressive given the right resources, especially because we saw the Rome Hylos being such a problem. And now this is an EXP Hylos, but we're not seeing the same kind of issue. Just because everyone's just coming in at the same time. We talked about this a little bit, but when the Hylos is just taking damage and no one is trading the damage back, the Hylos isn't the kind of carry they can actually do damage solo. It's about the team following up and making it difficult for everyone to focus on the Hylos or the team. But with a boy so oppressively flashing out that lantern, it's so difficult for Alter Ego to even get a moment here. They're getting lifted up left and right.
I thought Owen's job was to lift people up, right? But the juice in Owen, there you go. With a flicker forward, but it's all onto Beloy, and this, Spear of Misery stunning him up now into the airborne. Owen gonna be traded back. It's a 1-for-1, and whenever you go for Beloy, it's really not gonna be worth it if you use that many resources.
And that's probably what he wants as well, right? And Vincent getting the turtle on the other end. They're losing every trade available.
Exactly.
Alter Ego, even Nino.
But Vincent is doing too much damage here. Nino's gotta respect it, man. He didn't even use the enhanced sight, he was saving it for the sword.
Look at the rotation. Rondo and Nile came there.
Wow.
For what? They're really just, you know, taking a vacation in the bottom lane.
They're getting out macroed.
Out microed as well. Nile goes in for the play, goes to his purple buff, but Gloves
over with the vengeance there, trying to go for the final side, but Niall, good escape of the Thorn Roll. Chidera able to displace himself with the Abyss Walker, but Vincent was already able to steal the purple buff away. Roundel almost getting caught in the Spear of Destruction, able to dash away from it, and it's Owen who tanks it. Chidera still takes it, and this is a 4.6k gold lead from Geek Fam. Some good stuff cooking.
Yikes.
It's almost like there's no synergy from Alter Ego. Even when they were able to get a pickup onto Beloyski, or, well, as of right now, just Beloyski, it doesn't seem like everyone else is on the same page. Let's take a look at the game fact by GoPay.
Every team that picks Hylos in MPL Indonesia Season 14 still has 100% win rate, but, you know, if we're going by this rate, Nino might have ruined it.
Well, we don't know that just yet.
Oh my god, look at this, up top. The rotation.
A boy man-marking 4 people.
A boy is literally just putting the lantern down saying, I see you, bro. We all see you. But what you don't see is your turrets getting sieged down. Geek Fam are assassinating turrets. They're out-macroing Alter Ego.
It's almost
so
like
hard.
It's like Alter Ego is kind of hypnotized by the lantern, man. It's being flashed in their faces again and again, and immediately they're like, okay, lantern time, watch out, lantern.
Yeah.
And while they're doing all that, they're losing a lot more than they can help for. Look at Nino though.
Again, all alone this time. Happy Glory Craftway gets ping-ponged to death. I thought table tennis was a sport in the Olympics, not in the land of Dawn.
I mean, they want to play it in the Land of Dawn as well, but look at where Rondel and Owen was. They were rotating to the top lane, where really, literally, 0 Geek Fam member was there, and Chidera just having a time of his life. I think Chidera at this point is just autopiloting.
He doesn't have to do anything too crazy. All he has to do is push and not overextend. And we haven't even seen this is Geek Fam doing all this macro advantage without even relying on the Spear of Destruction for that global play. This is just them rotating more efficiently. 8k gold advantage at 8 minutes on a relatively low kill game. And for now, Alter Ego has no issue for Beloyski. They have no issue for Chidera. They have no issue for a boy as well. All of these problems are just adding up, unsolved, and the moment it explodes in a big Lord fight, that could be the end, man. If this is how the game is going to go, Alter Ego have a big problem waiting for them.
And I think they are just terrified by the presence of Beloy. The fact that they're not really looking to scout the other end of the map with the amount of frontliner that they have just speaks volume. Meanwhile, look at that, Beloy. One stinger towards Nino, that's like 1/3 of HP.
And this
from
is
the
a
horse.
high loss.
Yeah.
That is a high loss that...
Beloy's horsing around.
And he's not even a horse.
He's a Pegasus, Unicorn, whatever the heck we were talking about yesterday with
Centaur.
Realize. Look at that though. Attempt off a play, but still, it's just so little and so ignorable by the side of Geek Fam. You're talking about the damage taken by the horse. He only has a radiant armor. Any kind of physical damage right here will damage him, and there's plenty. The Arlet, the Moskov, the Helkert. There's so many ways right now for Geek Fam to be able to take down the horse.
There really is. Holy Defense going to be popped down, I think, in the bottom lane.
Oh,
and
man.
The Lord hasn't even spawned in the game yet. That's how fast the game has been played here by Geek Fam. They're almost beating the clock at this point with the gold lead. Beloyski always finding an opportunity to go for the stingers there.
There was really no attempt to make a play. They're just trying to respond with some of the moves that Geek Fam made. And Geek Fam hasn't made any mistakes whatsoever so far in this game. So, like, where does the kills come from? Where does the opportunity comes from? When you're not trying to make it yourself. Oh my god, that gotta hurt.
Oh, and
The Jukes. Ole, says Beloy, dodging out. He has a great Dragon Spear, by the way, so at this point, even if he gets caught by 1 or 2 crowd control tools, he's gonna slide away just like that, man. They're already preparing for so far ahead, and Alter Ego is just lagging behind, even for the Julian. This Julian is carrying a Feather of Heaven and building towards a Holy Crystal, I believe. Vincent is just going for that burst.
I had a conversation with Beloy during the media day, because he was there for Saudi, right? He was there for MSC. He told me, yo, I've been in Saudi for 3 weeks. I lost all my mechanics. And well, with another 3 weeks after the media day, it seems he's gotten it. Look at this, Dark Knight falls. He wants to go in. Chidera finding the Spear of Misery actually still. And actually becomes a win for Geek Fam despite Beloyski losing out that much HP. He's just playing around at this point.
He took a turret shot for fun right there, Beloyski. Now with Aboy picking up the butt wings as well. It's only going to get tougher and tougher for Alter Ego to be able to burst and pick off one of their members when they keep stacking up all these defensive tools. They're going to be forced to play the long game, and Hyze and Owen need to be the one carrying, but that means Nile, the highlight of matchup right here, won't be able to do anything.
Man, Owen in the back was zoned away just from the chain. Nino, he's a squishy boy on the horse.
Oh my god.
Nino, deleted. The high lows that we have been talking about. Beloyski finally gets punished here, but he's just a roamer.
Oh! Chadera!
Chadera in the
my
bottom
God.
side of the map gets the solo. Now the Crimson Beacon over to Hyze to pick up the throwaway of Purify, baited out the First Lord. This could be the fastest game in Season 14, 11 minutes. Round of the forced to use a beacon. Chadera with the chase under the fountain. It's still the burn down from a boy. Owen cannot withstand this. They can go for it. 11 minutes is all it takes for GeekFam to get rid of Alter Ego in game number 1.
Whatever Alter Ego is doing right now, they have to change it. There's gotta be major adjustment to this, because that was like, I don't want to say anything, but like I could spell out like 10 words that could describe what just happened, and it would be way too harsh. What did I just see?
You saw destruction, complete, utter destruction from GeekFam to Alter Ego. What a stomp!
They're putting a leash on towards the horse and just guide him everywhere they want. This is the power horse. This is like the best pick so far in MPL Indonesia season 14, and there's really no translation whatsoever. No actual use of the hero.
That is just unfortunate, man. No longer at 100%. That's the win streak of the Hylas broken by Alter Ego and GeekFam technically. And every single turn, they're lacking in the macro, they're lacking in the execution. And you can make a point that their synergy, the way they were playing these fights, also weren't really conducive. You're seeing people go in funneling one by one, not going in together.
Rashi. Yeah.
Exactly. Respect or leave Beloyski's Hellcurt open. One will Rex decide.
Oh, Rekt and Aldo decide.
Exactly. Is it Rex or is it Aldo that's kind of deciding for this? If we saw what they were betting for earlier, I think it was just a brawling composition. But if they're trying to do that, then they would have to have, again, I feel like if they want to go for the brawls, they have the Hylas, the Eve, the Valentina. They have what it takes for brawls, but even in the beginning, they were the ones who gave up a kill in the mid lane too. So it's really hard to blame anything but the execution. But maybe, right, signature heroes are something that some of these newer players are used to. They're not used to all these meta picks just yet. And sometimes it's the coach or analyst's responsibility to try and adjust, right? To try and give them the best odds possible.
I think they cooked up a pretty good draft in the first game. It's just the execution is all over the place. Even the first play of the game, Rondo gets picked off by Beloyski and also a boy. And I feel like that kill in particular deals a lot of mental damage towards Alter Ego. Now they kind of overthought it. Should I go in? Should I go out? Like, this is Beloyski we're talking about with Hellcurt. And it looks like Coach Aldo doesn't want to ban it again. Potentially. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Alright, so no Hellcurt, but that's not the only hit
That was
they have
fast.
to be careful about, man. Now with Geek picking up the Roger, it's still very flex. For Alter Ego, what do they want? Right? They've gone for a more straightforward composition, a scrapping composition. Do they feel like without the Hellcurt it's possible? They go for the Moskov, which is great, and a Ruby. So a lot more familiar picks in the hands of Alter Ego. We'll see if they can make this operate as planned.
We have the Hellcurt, Rashi. Is there another hero that's not Natalia that's kind of maybe a curveball for Beloyski's hero pool? Does that exist? For the first phase.
I'm imagining if for GeekFam, if they went for something like a Hylas Angela, that would be so crazy. But no, I don't think we're seeing anything too crazy from Beloy. But it's generally the support heroes, and we saw the Mathilda being used earlier to great effect. That can still be done now with the Zask, Arlet, and Roger already. That's still burst damage oriented, but we've seen that against the Alpha, sometimes the Zask is a bit too squishy or kind of struggles to have the same kind of impact due to the amount of damage, true damage by the way, that's available to the Alpha.
And right,
Alpha picked up this time. And I guess for a Geek fan, the reason they don't go for the jungle pick is because they already have the flex potential of the Roger, right? But it's just interesting to see that for Alter Ego, they don't actually care that much about the Zask or the Juicin, right? They didn't go for the Zask in the first phase. They didn't go for the Juicin either. And when it's open in the first phase, you usually always see the Juicin or the Zask.
For honor!
Yep. Meanwhile, though, Coach Aldo really respecting. This is looking like a dream treatment here. Minotaur and Tigreal. But Beloyski is much more than a setter. He's that threat himself. A solo kill threat with the Hellcurt. Maybe, hopefully, we'll get to see a Natalia here. Because it's been way too long.
Is to protect
Okay, with the Hylos ban away. What is that? Wait, what's the fourth ban right there? Is that an Aurora?
Yeah,
it's an Aurora. Okay, just confirming, because we haven't seen that hero ban in a long time, man. Aurora Hylos. So it seems like they're trying to mitigate the front-to-back style, right? Which hints at a lot of dive potential, and all three heroes so far can do so. But here's a comment from Professor KB.
Which two teams am I watching? AE and Geek. Good choice. I'm curious about Nile without Beloyski and Vincent with Beloyski. Okay. So
Nile without Beloyski and Beloyski without Vincent. Yeah, I mean Beloyski with Vincent, right?
Yep. So is Nile performance enhanced by the brilliance of Beloyski, or he is that good himself? Is what KB's trying to say there.
Oh, that's a good question, right?
It's a cryptic statement.
I mean, combos are a thing.
Because, I mean, we have seen Luke perform without Beloy just earlier, and he actually did perform really well. So, Nile, gotta put him up to the test right now.
It's like, is Holland that good without KDB?
Ah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Is Jamal Murray is that good without Nikola Jokic? You don't know that one, either.
No, that's a basketball reference. The first one was a football one, then he kind of did a skibbity on us and pulled a basketball reference.
Hey, Filipino, shout out. Right now, second phase of the draft geek. 2 final picks. The Roger can still be flex for sure, but it's going to be Edith,
the hunter of all
and
break all the rules.
Carry. So it is going to be Roger on the jungle for Vincent. We have seen this, and Vincent, I think he's more than comfortable on this hero.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember Reliant spamming a whole lot of Roger jungle last season, so he's got to be comfortable on this pick. This is the pick that I actually thought he was going to go for with the alpha, but this Julian was great too.
You know, quick side note here. I believe Gobs, his face kind of reminds me of Race Boy, actually. That's kind of funny that I just noticed that in the moment. The final pick for the side of Alter Ego right here. What do they want to round it out with? Because there's a Ruby as the main front line, there's an Alpha as a fighter. Do they want to get something else? Or do they want to get more utility to stop the full-on dive? Terizla, it is front line and utility. A great pick, actually, for Alter Ego.
Once again, a quite standard draft from Alter Ego. It all comes down to execution. They have the set, they have the damage. As long as you can... What? Why are you laughing?
It looks like Race Boy.
Oh,
wait, I haven't seen him.
Is it that fun, Hirachi?
My bad. I'm getting sidetracked, bro.
Oh yeah, and yeah. By the way, let's see though. Is the execution gonna be better in game number 2? I think the answer is gonna be yes, because that was nightmarish performance from Alter Ego in game number 1. Let's see though. What is the adjustment? And can they synergize a bit better this time?
Oh, wow.
Communicate much better. Looking at the statistics, Hirachi, looks like survivability and also controllability favors towards Alter Ego's draft, so that is something that I can exploit in this game. Let's see though, the 2 teams that hold family values, Geek Fam and Alter Ego. Is it gonna be another sweep this day, closing the day on a 6-0, or is it gonna be a game number 3 of Alter Ego versus Geek Fam?
The looks of it, it might be a clean sweep, but Alter Ego are definitely gonna try and put up a fight. Now with a Valentina Ruby combo in the mid lane, we'll see what they can do against a Zask, right? It's a high value pick, and the Valentina kind of lacks the spammability of spells to try and deny the clearing that is assisted by the Nightmarish spawn. But Beloyski might be able to swing things more in balance of them as well. So it's always a full-on skirmish here, and then the jungle becomes the third party, usually at least.
Yeah, so slowly but surely at this point, right, they're just trying to utilize this mid-prio Alter Ego. This time definitely favoring them, but Beloy still staying active on the Edith, trying to be as annoying as he can. Beloy playing like Beloy.
Look at Roundel's EXP compared to Beloy though. That is a drawback when you're using a Jask. Giving a bit of EXP and also gold away to the opposing mid laner, and now they can lane a much more carefree, like let go some of the minions that they're supposed to take and still hits level 4. before the first objective begins.
Yeah, the emblem by GamesMax though. A boy went for the weapon mastery though, so he's looking at a late game Zask approach right here. And everyone else, it's all about sustainability, man. Tenacity is on 3 members as usual. GeekFam are just going for this skirmish, scrappy style, and they get low HP very, very often. So this tenacity is going to be very valuable. Whereas for Alter Ego, Rondo and Owen are going with the Wilderness Blessing. So they're trying to use that movement speed to try and augment the tempo, the gameplay, and maybe back up Nile, right? We talked about Nile being one of the highlighted matchups right here. They're trying to get him some success by backing him up again and again, and he's been able to win out the Litho battle at least the past few times in this early 2-minute part.
A much quieter early game from both of these teams makes sense because Beloyski is not on health. Meanwhile, though, Vincent in trouble.
Chunked already. Nino, no penalty zone just yet. Roundel actually steals it with Lycan form there. As the boy flickers out to safety. Still not on the 4. So for GeekFam, they're going to have to give this away. Nile picks it up. Owen finally I'm offended onto Beloyski, forcing out the flicker from Beloy. GeekFam will take that loss. They will concede the neutral objective and just focus on farming again.
Finally, a bit more decisiveness from Alter Ego. That flicker, I'm offended. It's definitely very decisive from Owen. Getting that flicker away from Beloyski. And a bit of a technical issue there, but don't mind.
See now, a boy just trying to clear the waves. You can see that there's a clear advantage here for Alter Ego. So things are moving better in their direction. They have to keep in mind that earlier, GeekFam were the ones with a very aggressive composition. This time, they can wait for the late game. They have a carry, they have a Zask with weapon mastery, and they have an Edith. If this game goes the distance, they won't be too concerned as Owen makes a read onto the bush, but nobody was there.
Yep, gotta take the gambles. Sometimes the fish is there. Right now, Chidera and Heist, they're laning quite normally, I guess. It's a Moskov and a carry. It's gonna be a bit of a dead lane unless Owen and Beloyski is gonna be there to help them out. And so far, they're opting to go a bit more active on the top lane. That's where the first objective was.
Ooh, Vincent still gets that EXP buff though, EXP Crab. Beloyski and Chidera on the bottom side. And an all-in, I think it still favors GeekFam though.
Great, I'm offended. Spear of Misery to Chidera, gonna be locked down. Good SOD! And he's gonna wait over it. Beloyski has a Primal Wrath, dealing some damage back on the highs. Gonna sustain as well. The Spear of Misery gets him out. Roundo's looking for the flank. Beloyski's gonna be ganked now. He has to Shatter, finds it.
Ain't no way.
Nile, Spear of Alpha ready for it. What was that? Nile with a big whiff on the Spear of Alpha.
Beloyski looking like Kyrie Irving, breaking ankles all over the place. There was 4 people tanking up on him, and no one died from GeekFam's side. That was insane.
Man.
And also a lot of errors as well from Alter Ego.
Happy feet from Beloyski. That's a tilter, man. Now Nino checks in. Might get caught out though.
Oh, final slash, great one to cancel the penalty zone too, and Vincent gets out of the penalty zone. Nino gonna be scratched down, so able to escape for a bit. A boy gets out of the Dominus Ascent, but has already done so much damage. Rondo unable to get anyone down. Owen tries to get close again. Oh, an SOD all the way from the top. Now Owen, a massive overall wall game of Vincent. So finds the turtle. Gobster gonna be slain as he finds the first blood there. Highs able to retaliate, picking up a double kill for himself.
2 kills and 1 kill and a turtle. Arashi, what do you think win that one?
Alter Ego came out on top there, taking 2 kills. They did lose a turtle, I believe, but they were able to actually get multiple kills right there. And Nino, in fact, did not get taken down. He got really, really low. So low, in fact, you didn't see his HP bar anymore, but he got out there. So Alter Ego showing some signs of life right here, especially when it comes to those skirmishes. Whenever, I guess, it's a more generic teamfight composition, a more just dive-heavy situation, they're doing pretty okay right here compared to earlier when they have to deal with the weird play from Beloyski. Look at Chidera.
Great gank into the bottom lane. Chidera speared to death and Highs. This is where he gets online. 3 kills up now. Below in the bush. Onward, Owen. No, I'm offended this time.
Finally, getting some good kills on towards the gold laner. Meanwhile, Vincent will use that advantage on the top lane when there's no Alter Ego members there. Urashi, so far it's just a whole different Alter Ego we're seeing right now.
It's a very different Alter Ego. It's an aggressive Alter Ego, but it's also an Alter Ego that is playing a more straightforward style. They're not really forced to try and go and contend with the macros. It's all about just coming in as 5 people and try and do their best when it comes to the fights, right? Get the right pickoffs, target the right person, It's a lot more straightforward of an approach, and I think it really fits the fact that Alter Ego are less experienced, and that GeekFam has shown that in a macro contest, they just outclass Alter Ego every single time. Now with Highs on the far side, pushing for the turret as well, there's a chance for a Spear of Destruction play, but look at Owen.
Wow, good juke away from the I'm Offended there, utilizing the Vengeance to get behind him.
Intelligent play from Gops. A good debut, I gotta say. A solid for a rookie. Well, can't really expect a debut like Enoch all the time, but he's doing just fine for GeekFam. And now, Vincent versus Niall once again.
Dino has a penalty zone, great final slash into the stun. Owen gonna be locked down with a dominant descent. Vincent on with likes of counts now. Looking for a great chain CC with the Fear of Alpha. Displacing everybody, but Primal Rat is still there, and they're gonna be able to out-sustain Alter Ego. Winning out in the skirmish. It's a double for Beloy. He does get taken down, but that's value if I've ever seen value. GeekFam now, they say we don't need to contest for the turtle. We got a man advantage. They just play with the turret first and then proceed towards the neutral objective.
It took two insane Don't Run Wolf King for Alter Ego to get something out of GeekFam just now. 2 skirmishes in a row. Owen made a really good CC on towards the members of GeekFam. But it turns out GeekFam right now, they prevail.
Only now has Nino completed his Dominance Ice, by the way. So he went for the World Club earlier, and then straight for Dominance Ice. Now looking for more, because again, in the macro decisions, the fact that they had the man advantage, and we saw Alter Ego gear up for another skirmish, GeekFam just simply went for the turrets. It's that intelligent style, right? The Geek style. Big brain Beloy that is allowing them to just outclass Alter Ego. In the fights, you're seeing that GeekFams were the ones struggling to really match all these combos, but they just find ways to make it work. They make sure they have to stay apart from each other though, because the next time there's a big fight, a big combo, a big engage from Nino might just swing the balance far enough to the side of Alter Ego.
Now Vincent's gonna play the far lane, forcing the opposing gold laner Highs to take care of it. But in the long run, I feel like Highs and Alter Ego will have the advantage with that Spear of Destruction. Meanwhile, the Blushki is looking for food here. I don't think he's gonna get it. And also, the backup is just not there yet.
Well, we'll have to see right now. Beloyski is there sending a message, outclassing Owen once more. He's still concealed though.
What?
Overcommitted!
All alone, Owen decided to go for that, and he gets punished. Gob smacked. Beloyski with Onward, missing that one. Nino stunned up. Dominator's descent, forcing Nino back. Luckily for Alter Ego, they have Highs. The all-reliable Moskov up top, split pushing. They're gonna have to send Beloyski to deal with him.
Gotta say, I think that's a winning trade for Alter Ego. They took that to second tier turret, Arashi.
It's a split push style that's really winning them the situation. You've seen a lot of teams attempt to try and do the same thing, and it does work until a set point where the team that you're fighting finds enough patterns, enough tells to know when to actually go for a team fight, and they'll be able to actually get control and force you to join even when you don't want to. Such a moment is now with 1 second to the Lord spawning. GeekFam can really burst this down and force Highs to immediately rotate or risk losing his team in a 5v4.
Yeah,
Highs though.
really depends on how Highs connects his Spear of Destruction, because we've seen it over and over again. It didn't connect, and it really cost them the game. Right now, Nino.
Great penalty zone into Spear of Alpha comes, and Beloyski going to be taken down. Highs joins in the fight, but has to purify now, but he still gets absolutely demolished. Chadera against the world of fadeaway round to 1 HP. Chadera flickers forward, but is unable to find him. A bit
wow.
Gets down to Spear of Alpha, still able to escape for a bit, but now Chadera is just wreaking havoc on Niall together with our boy. The 2 ex-teammates of Niall showing him rather, hey, we're doing all fine, we're doing all good.
That was a decent engage, I gotta say, from Nino getting 2, but what happened, Rashi? What made them lose the fight in the end?
Rondo. They're just all coming in, they have no enough damage. Now Boydo gets low. Rondo!
Pushers back, Rondo, Dominator's descent. How are you gonna tackle this one? Rondo steps back and he seals it away to recover for Alter Ego.
They took the risk and actually paid for it. GeekFam losing that one to Rondo. Great steal and gives Alter Ego a little bit of hope here after that terrible team fight.
A terrible turn of events for GeekFam. They're losing the Lord, committing, and they were expecting Rondo to show up out of nowhere to try and make the hero play. Nino now caught in the front with the Lord coming in. GeekFam want to try and find a fight. They want to try and equalize here.
Oh wow! Owen dashing into the final slash earlier. Nino going to be chain CC'd. Now with the Primal Rider, Dominator's descendant in the back. Even Vincent getting rid of Owen, or getting rid of Nino rather. They're all everywhere. And now with the Lord advantage, that Roundo worked so hard to get. They can't get anything.
This was the moment that Alter Ego needs to have the waves empowered, to have the Lord pushing down in order to split push even more strategically. But GeekFam immediately went for the fight, and Alter Ego, they fell for the bait, man. They got caught out right there. That was the worst case scenario for them. Losing the Lord, losing the tempo. Now they're back to square one where GeekFam are the ones controlling. And they can't do this, man. GeekFam is a team that is well known for just the decisive engages in the late game. You're trying to split push against a team like this? That's a bold move.
Yeah, and Gobs ripped that one like a book, man. He knows that he overextended a little bit. And Owen was trying to punish him, but voila, Uno reverse card. There you go. Final slash, 2 people. And now GeekFam has the lead finally. The gold swings towards GeekFam.
Now with the control over the map for GeekFam, you can see High is a bit more reluctant to move around the map, forced to group as 5. But this only plays into the game plan of GeekFam. Without the turrets as security, now Alter Ego are kind of much more limited, at least until the next Lord comes up, where they can kind of predict at least somehow where the members of GeekFam are. For now, every single bush could spell disaster, man, with Beloyski and Gobs on the hunt, with a possibility for both of them to engage on multiple members. What the read?
Well, yes, you have to be careful when there's a Ruby on the opposing side, Arashi. That's just basic roaming one-on-one from Beloyski. And now I feel like Alter Ego, they need to just somehow keep Heis alive, especially when he's up 2k gold lead against his counterpart Chidera. 2 gold laners with 2 different stories. And now Alter Ego, what will they do to kind of just keep them safe when you have this kind of dives coming in? You have Vincent, you have Gobs, you have Beloyski. What kind of peel are they looking for? What kind of strategy they're trying to cook here?
Unfortunately for them, the issue right here is the fact that if they don't go for an engage from Nino or from Owen, they're the ones that are getting poked down by the Nightmare Spawns, by the, by these long-range shots from Vincent, from Chidera as well with the Star. Now with a Wind of Nature completed as well, Chidera, it's kind of equalized to Heis, but with the Malefic War completed, Heis has a lot of damage potential, but you can bet that GeekFam will not let him free hit in the next fight.
Once they see the Moskov, I think they will be very confident in going for the final. I think they did spot the Moskov up top, throwing up the wave earlier, so good job by Chidera to shove the wave in before the Lord. But even now, because the Moskov is still not seen, they're taking their time with the Lord. Or Shatter from Beloyski into the onward. Now Vincent just hitting from behind that wall. The damage is set. Now final slash from Gobs into the back. Moskov still clearing up top, and Alter Ego might have to give this away. The Spirit Destruction connecting. Beloyski still able to find the Earth Shatter. There's Dial. Gets knocked up in the Lord there. Owen's still dishing out damage. Vincent gets shredded. Chidera can do some damage on the Roundo. The Lord's still free, and it's Niall who picks it up. Alter Ego come alive in the 14th minute of the game. Chidera still there, has a boy to back him up. They'll back away.
They got to, but the follow-up was not there. 2 teams split up for GeekFam. One is taking the Lord, and also one is trying to take care of the frontliners of Alter Ego. And when you like try to do 2 things at the same time, it's not gonna be good.
Zero Alpha now into the penalty zone. Chidera's able to flicker out the safety. Gobs unable to find the final slash. It's a stun over to Nino. Still with the minions there. Heis makes quick work out of that base turret.
There's more AoE, more burst damage available for Alter Ego. The Zaz pick that's just so contested and so useful, it's kind of biting GeekFam in the back right here. It's just not outputting the same kind of damage that Roundel can do on this Valentina. With the Lord coming in, Alter Ego, can they equalize? Can they make this work?
We'll see. Mid lane base turret taken down. Owen unfortunately unable to find the I'm Offended. It's a big Lord still up top and a big wave down below. Now there's a sent down quick. Instantly Heis. A base walker forward. A final rat now by Beloyski, immobilizing them down. Niall still able to escape. Chidera on the chase. Walking up forward, dashing up forward. And now they're going to have to deal with the bottom wave. GeekFam defend.
Oh boy. This spawn is just getting obliterated right away. And this late of a game. And right now, what's the use of this nightmaric spawn in the end?
That's what we're talking about. When you have burst damage, the Dominus Descent can be deleted very, very easily. Boy didn't even have time to exit from the Dominus Descent when he got immediately bursted down, nuked down immediately. So for Alter Ego right here, against so much damage, they just have to try and find the right targets at the right time. If they can get their hands onto highs here, it's definitely a fight that favors them with a late game carry. But Nile sending a message with 2 base turrets taken out. Fortunately for GeekFam, the side farthest away from the Lord is still standing. So it helps with the split push situation, but Alter Ego are prepared. They're just waiting for the next Lord to come up so they can do the exact same thing. It's on to GeekFam to try and adapt, to try and make some kind of play that can work.
3k gold lead for Heist over Chitera, but it's only about a half item difference at this point for these 2 marksmen, so I don't think it's gonna be that much either. Yeah, and right now, GeekFam, only about down 2k gold lead. It's not really that bad either. The comeback chance is still definitely there if you get the right engage and also try to somehow use that descent or the spawn from a boy to be able to be useful. And the way to do that is to chain that with a CC coming in from Poloski or maybe Cops.
They can try and do that, but they don't really have the same kind of combo, right? For Alter Ego, if they land a massive penalty zone or unoffended, then the follow-up could be so devastating from Nile, from Heist as well. You have to remember the Spear of Destruction kind of does damage to everyone in the hit vicinity. Whereas for GeekFam, it's not a single target damage. It's a lot of slow damage from the Primal Wrath, from the basic attacks, the passive from the carry. So they just have to survive the initial combo. If they can do that, I believe they have enough damage to win out in the front to back, as long as they don't clump up for Highs to just delete multiple people at the same time. Here comes the Lord Dance. This is GeekFam's territory, but we've seen Alter Ego beat them at this game before.
You know, penalty zone, finding 3, Chidera still able to space himself, Roundel into the back line. He goes, so very aggressive, Owen! What an amazing, I'm offended there! Into the Dominator's descent, and Vincent is going to be next to the chopping block as Owen continues the chase. Roundel finds a double. That was just a boy and Gobs left to defend. And even a boy, he does not have the Dominator's descent, he does not have the resources to look for the defense. Gobs still going at it on the full dive. Gobs finding a massive final slash, but it ain't big enough to save them from an equalizer from Alter Ego.
An equalizer. They're looking definitely sharper than before. Alter Ego strikes back after that Game 1 performance. It looks like they definitely reset just fine. Still all smiles from Nile, even recalling on towards his old mates. GeekFam though, really need to figure out how to win without that Poloski Helkert.
They were beat in a macro setup game by Alter Ego. Despite the game looking kind of bleak in the early game, despite that performance in game number 1, they were unfazed. They went with that game plan. The more straightforward approach, the combo that finally now really works, the crowd control that is a lot more simple to maneuver around compared to the glorious pathway that requires good coordination. And they've beaten GeekFam.
Yep. And shout out to Nino as well. Definitely a pretty good game on a Teresla, a hero that we doubted on him. Not really known for his setup heroes, actually getting some pretty solid penalty zone. And the La Familia, the Alter Champs, they're definitely happy looking at the performance, and this is it. That penalty zone on towards 3, and Owen as well, the flicker towards the front, getting Chitera and Vincent in trouble.
That damage coming from Nile as well is absolutely nasty in the late game. That's the big problem right there that allows the combos to be so devastating. Initially, if it's just a penalty zone or an unoffended, GeekFam can still put up a fight. But when the victims of that skill are followed up with the Spear of Alpha, it's just so much damage that they can't really come back. And the fact that their backline members are just so vulnerable. The Zaz is survivable, but the carry just could not find a safe space, man. We saw that earlier, Chidera dashed out of the penalty zone, and then immediately Roundel was on him. Once Roundel backed away, then Nile came on him. So everyone had their eyes on that late game carry, which allowed Highs to have so much more space to really make plays happen. In the front with the damage, gotta be pantang mundur.
Yeah, how happy you are as a Mobile Legends player right now, man. A lot of epic skin giveaways, a lot of emote giveaways, a lot of events,
A lot of drafting
that you can
phases.
participate in, and also the last drafting phase of the day. It is still going to be that Helkert ban from Coach Aldo, the chip as well. Coach loves you though, still sticking to his guns. Fanny and also Harith.
Now this is quite interesting, man. I do wonder what angle both teams will try and go for. 'Cause for Alter Ego, yeah, the Hellcurt definitely won't be allowed. But Geek Fam, yeah, they banned with the Moskov, so not even attempting to pick it off for themselves. There's something else they want that's more important than the Moskov.
Still a lot of option for Coach Bluffsy. You can pick one of the mages that's usually picked here. Valentina is open, Zask is open, Jushin is open, or maybe go for like a Roger as well. I don't know about Hayabusa. Vincent on
twice by
Hayabusa,
Geek Fam.
yeah, maybe. It's a good option,
Welcome
but
to
it's still
my
going to be
hunting
Roger
ground.
for possibly Vincent or Chidera. Still flex, and hopefully they're gonna still hide it in the second phase.
Interesting. The Roger was in their hands in the previous game, so I wonder if the mid lane is what's going to be changing, right? At this point, the Tsushin is also still available, by the way, so I guess it's something that both can kind of go for. I feel like Kingdom would want it, but for the side of Alter Ego, that Ruby Hayabusa showing up once again, and I think the Ruby is a great pick. It does throw a wrench in the plays of Geek Fam that like to kind of corral together. But we'll see which lane, which position does it go into.
It's a great pick overall for this thing. Edok, 2 games and also player of the match versus EVOS. Even in the previous game, I think Owen was one of the unsung heroes of Alter Ego, getting those beautiful turn-around Wolf King towards 4, towards 3, even at the end of the game. That flicker up offended towards Chidera. Oh man.
Wow.
Kufra for Beloyski. This is a bit risky, but I'm
Beloy.
welcome for it.
Beloira.
That does not rhyme.
Hey, we can force it, all right? Forcing is fine.
Exactly.
Alter Ego though, Hayabusa and the Ruby up against this Kufra. So they've already got a pretty good answer to the Kufra with the Ruby itself, right? You can just throw a Wolf King out, you can just escape from a lot of these forced skirmishes from Geek Fam. But do they pick up the juice in themselves here? Because game 1, they didn't want to take it. Game 2, they didn't want to take it.
I don't know if it fits with their composition, man, with their game plan idea right here. If they want to play with a Hayabusa, then the Tsushin, I guess, can work and supplement the catch-up potential. But they're going to go for the Zask instead. That is what they prefer in the situation. Geek Fam were unable to make it work, but Alter Ego feels like they have a chance at it.
First phase already over now. Going towards the second, there's still a lot of flexibility from both teams, so the banning phase is going to be very interesting. Coach Aldo, though, they definitely can ban the mid laners at this point, as they already secured their own mid laner as well for Roundel. One of the highlighted players of the first game or second game. After that, Lord Steel prolonging Alter Ego's life. And right away, Aurora Band. This is interesting.
I like this Aurora ban coming down again. I mean, Geek Fam did it as well. When they picked up the Zask, they banned out the Aurora. It seems to be a pretty good answer towards the Zask, especially considering for Geek Fam, they're gonna have a disgusting combo if they got that Aurora, right? It's an Arlet into the Aurora, and then the Kufra comes in. It's a multi-layered CC combination.
Yeah, and I think you also have a very easy time clearing away the Nightmare Spawn with the Aurora as well. And you kind of do all your jobs without actually having to move forward. You can put your spells out and get out. We have a statement there by Rek, though, that they've done their best
My mission is to
all this
protect
time,
lives.
and the results will speak for themselves, and they'll definitely be great this season.
This is 2 mages, man, that we rarely see in MPL Indonesia season 14 so far, especially that Faramis kind of losing his edge, but with a boy on the mid laner still can be utilized. And on the other end, even though in the first game Nino weren't able to use that one quite freely and actually get banned, might be more of a composition ban here for Coach Bluffsy. Now what's gonna be the plan here? Coach Aldo still hasn't picked that gold laner if they want to secure that one.
Interesting, with all the frontliners banned away by Geek right now, I guess they just really want that combo, right? And for Alter Ego, they're assuming there's gonna be a big dive in composition. They ban away the Faramis as well. Signature hero for the side of Geek Fam. Now with the Tigreal, again they have a combo, but now I feel like Alter Ego are the ones lacking in damage output. Unless they get some really ideal combos right here, I feel like the members of Geek Fam can survive it.
This is a good old Mobile Legends here. 2 setter tanks duking it out with each other. Kufra and Tigreal. This matchup not really usual matchup we see on the roaming. It's gonna be Lilia to play around some of the heroes from Alter Ego and Julian as well. So it's going to be Julian on Vincent. Vincent or Julian.
Sorry. On Vincent. Wow.
Well, maybe he's good enough to be called that. But Roger on Chidera. Is that a good pick for Chidera? Is it a signature?
I don't think it's a signature, but I think he can definitely perform on it because he does have that killer instinct. We've seen him dive in deep with marksman just to secure the kills when he feels like it is worth it. I feel like it's great. There's great outplay potential there as well. You know, for the longest time, Chidera was this one marksman that kind of does crazy things, crazy outplays, brings crazy heroes to the gold lane as well, like the Valentina back then. So I feel like the extra outplay potential can be great for Chidera.
Yep, for sure. Let's see though. The two drafts once again has been cooked up by Coach Aldo and also Coach Blovsy. Who's gonna win their first match of the season between these two teams? Looking for the first win. Alter Ego looking to revamp with their newfound lineup. Two debutants in Roundel and Owen. And also some familiar faces on the coaching staff as well. Rex. Meanwhile though, on the other end, Vincent is looking to show highs. Who's the boss? Looking at the counter index, Arashi, anything that stands out here? Oh, never mind.
Well, it's gone too fast, but finally, Shervin, the long-awaited conclusion to this final match of the day.
Yep, Alter Ego versus a Geek Fam. It's game number 3, the decider of the last match of day number 2 of MPL Indonesia Season 4. Here we go.
Got the teen. Season 14, right? But hey,
did I?
Yeah, you did. But it's okay. For Geek Fam, I think they definitely didn't forget the fundamentals of the game, right? Despite, you know, Juicen being obviously the most prio pick together with Zaz, they went for the Lilia because they wanted to actually get more mid-prio instead of just forcing themselves on a meta pick. And you can already see that mid-prio playing a big role in the early game.
Ooh.
Game 1, mid-prio for Geek Fam, they won the game. Game 2, mid-prio for Alter Ego, they won the game. And now, it seems it's back on Geek Fam's side with the Lilia.
Look at that, Arashi, that micro display from Randall. He actually, you know, went far enough for the spawn to disappear so that the opponent didn't really get that XP. Meanwhile, though, Beloyski might be in trouble here. No second skill just yet.
He's always in trouble, but it's okay. It's Beloy. That's the quad shadow in. That's first blood over to Nile.
First blood. Big dive Beloy as always. Waiting for number 7, but look at a boy also getting pulled in there. Roundel. Not making a play just yet. Take a look at the emblems by GamesMax here before anything crazy happens. Chidera with the Master Assassin. Nothing new there. Rondo with the weapon mastery as well. Now the fight breaks out though.
An attempted shove right there, but Vincent gets in has sight still now. Gets in has sword actually. Well played by Vincent. I would have definitely thought that with the chain down there, with them all going on to Owen, that he would go for more aggression. But he decides to use the sword. The 8 discipline from Vincent as he walks forward.
Expected result on the gold lane naturally wins out. Heis, or maybe Chidera getting some good damage on towards Heis. And it feels like right now the meta for the marksman is the basic common emblem, Marashi. Moonton prepared a special marksman emblem and no one used it.
I think it hasn't been meta for a long time, that marksman emblem. The basic emblem just gives you a lot more to play around with, and especially in the tough lane, having a more sustain can be great. Look at Beloyski though, threatening Owen already. Neither of them level 5, level 4 just yet with an ultimate, but with a boy being on the Lilia, you gotta be careful, man. There's gonna be a lot of poke damage available for Geek Fan.
Oh, Purify, a boy. A preemptive one. Nino, I'm offended onto the turtle. Great final slash now. Alter Ego still able to dash. And disengage. Good knock up there. And Owen is going to be taken down. Beloyski with a bouncing ball, just bouncing on his head as he's unconscious. Gone for the vengeance, pushing around though back. Nile and Vincent with retreat battle here. Let's see who wins it. Nile! In the shadow kill, that's the change you need with the Hayabusa. Oh no! The dash gets cancelled. Nino very low. Gobs again with the final slash. That fight went on for so long, he could final slash twice. So it isn't really a final slash, huh?
Oh, meanwhile, the Beloyski.
And the rage now. The knock-up, Beloyski still able to escape for now, but then the shove comes in, the knock-up, and now Nile with the shurikens. Oh, Owen got the kill.
Oh no, you don't do your ultimate like that, that's your leader.
Chidera.
It's his leader no more, Shevin. There's no love lost between them. But Geek Fan looking a lot better here in the fight, especially with a boy having a lot more damage output to show. This is only 3 minutes in. With a couple more items here, this Lilia is going to be outputting an absurd amount of damage
Wow.
in AoE fashion. And look at how Alter Ego is positioning. Like earlier, those angry gloops are going to be doing a lot of damage, and Alter Ego need to be aware of that.
The audience prediction 68 to 32. Meanwhile, in the mid lane.
Again, this time it's gonna be a boy. Has the black shoes. All good, man.
Wow, he didn't even use the Purify. He has no Purify and he gets away from that one? Did he use a Tough Wood or something?
Not sure, we'll have to see here. Bottom lane, Tower Spend connecting. High still has a Purify, but it's Heist not to use it. White can bounce, used up already. Heist, the patience on the man to not use Purify.
It really seemed like Chidera was kind of late to the follow-up right there, honestly. He kind of waited for the whole Tyrant's Rage, Tyrant's Revenge combo to come out before even committing towards Hive. But look at Nino!
One thing's for sure, the follow-up was definitely not late up top.
Ooh, first item for Nile is, I believe, Sky Piercer. So this is probably the only instance that we've seen an assassin using that Sky Piercer to snowball in the early game. Usually we saw something along the lines of Hunter Strike or maybe some emphasis on this hero, but not this guy. He wants to go aggressive.
Ooh, Geekfam has to be careful here walking around. They can't let Vincent be the main front guy. He's a guy who can be adjustive in how he wants to approach. But look at the top fight again.
A full gang onto Nino. Oh, I'm offended, and a Don't Real Wolf King earlier still able to survive, getting a trade 1-for-1. And because of that, now they're all stuck between the turrets. Give the Shadow Kill to take them away. Vincent stunned up by the Diamonders to set an outplay from Alter Ego. Reacting to the plays and then taking it down.
Bit of disrespect towards Nino, I gotta say.
Oh!
Not respecting the outplay potential, but a boy, oh, High still gets away. Oh man, playing with the limit, some of the players here.
Now going on the turtle though, Alter Ego will get a bit of an advantage. But they are losing 2 turrets in the process here in order to make that happen. Might not be worth it considering the Geek Fam wants to have control over the map. The more the brushes are kind of opened up, the more Beloyski can look for those crazy plays. Diving onto the Ruby though in this early game hasn't really paid off for the side of Geek Fam. Want to be a bit more careful about that, especially with the War Axe already completed on the side of Nino. With the Thunderbolt available for both Chidera and Gobs though, a lot of tankiness.
Oh, they decided to go on Owen.
Oh wow.
The hand side committed down as well. Owen now goes in, implodes it, finding Beloyski, but it's only going to be Beloyski. Now they're all going to be trapped together. Good shadow kill over. Roundo getting caught. That's a double kill over for Nile as he gets out. Now Gobs again. Finding the vengeance, finding the kill, diving in deep. But Nile gets a triple. And remember, he has a Sky Piercer. So this, Nile? Wow! The disrespect to his ex-teammates!
That's gonna come out in that TikTok compilations, man. Nile showing some confidence here in the early game, getting that triple kill as well. As you said, Mirko, with Sky Piercer.
At the same time, you're saying Geek Fam kind of struggle to follow up onto Beloyski, man. Everyone can go in and at least once, but afterwards, you're saying that they struggle to actually match the aggression. With Gobs going in so deep, 1v3 at the purple buff, no one else was able to actually go and help him out. They have burst damage, but they have to wait for a couple more items to ensure that if they jump onto Owen, if they jump onto the main initiating tools like Nino and Owen, they can seal the deal before the output can be made. Because they used a bunch of ultimates to guarantee that the Tigreal can't cast an implosion, and Owen still did.
Hey, so far the whole blazing duet from Highs in a 1v1 against the Assassin. Vincent has the enhanced sword, untargetable. Nile comes in, says, hey, you're the replacement? I'm godlike.
Wow. What was the interaction? Vincent didn't use the third phase of his skill towards Heist, and Heist just confidently used the Blazing Duet to punish him. And now Alter Ego about 1k gold lead up ahead. It's a good lead to build on in this mid-game.
And Highest has completed the 2 power spike items, man, King Hunter Sword and the Golden Staff, so there's gonna be a ton of damage output coming out from him. Look at Owen zoning everyone away though, as Alter Ego just take that turtle away. They're still winning in the neutral objective contest in the fights as well. But remember, the late game, in some ways, favored Geek Fam. Now with the Ice Queen's one available, the kite back and the chase from Geek Fam is gonna be something that Alter Ego has to kind of keep track of. But look at the damage!
My goodness gracious. A 7-0-1 Hayabusa with a fully stacked, well not fully stacked, almost fully stacked Sky Piercer. That is the damage that you're gonna output at this point of the game. And even a boy, one Quad Shadow connects. He has to somehow invest a Purify or a Black Shoes to get away from the danger. That's not good.
They're trying to match the coverage pressure though. Voloisky setting up for a play. That's another Nile though.
Owen's been solid, man, taking all these hits, and then now Heiss is doing what Fam has been doing to them. And remember game number 1? Always. But game number 2 onwards, Heiss has been on point with the split pushes.
The fact they were able to come back and reset from that awful game 1 performance is pretty mind-boggling considering how bad they played, man. Like, what is this? Improvement takes time, right? I thought that was supposed to be the case.
Should take time, but now with the BOD completed for Nile, the burst potential is insane. Oh man, wow. Happy feet. Shadows coming in and out. Owen though, already in position, waiting for a chance to catch Geek Fam by surprise. Voloisky though has other plans.
Wow. Great read from Beloy there. Composure still catches him, now with the jump as well. It's only
Oh my God! What? He just got rid of a boy in the back line, and now it's a shadow kill to the back to Dara!
Still with like a pound quick shut down. Now Heiss the blazing duet. Beloy finding the Terror's revenge, but will be taken down in the end. That's a massive shutdown, by the way.
Yeah.
That Geek Fam have taken from Nile.
I mean, look at the gold Arashi. They're right now, it's favoring towards Geek Fam. There was like 1K before.
Glob's getting jumped on as well, but won't be.
Oh, what? Massive final stack. Heiss gonna be displaced right now. Shadera looks for the like and bounce onto Heiss. Scratches over to the purple buff, goes back to human form, and now shoots him down. Gobs wants his vengeance, picks up the kill for himself.
Wow, man, Geek Fam immediately trying to strike back. The Lord is up as well, and I believe the bottom lane is pushing towards Alter Ego. They have all the time in the world to set up for this. Heiss won't be up for 14 more seconds in a full blown-out fight. Alter Ego are going to be outmatched when it comes to damage output, unless, of course, Nile can make the miracle play. Level 14 up against level 12.
Oh, God, final slash, trying to go for the assassination onto the back line right now as a boy. Has to use the black shoes. That's a massive implosion. The shadow kill there. Great read from Beloy. Times the Tyrant's Rage right as Nile gets out of the shadow kill. And he almost gets a fadeaway too. But Nile's able to escape.
No way.
No way, Nile. There's absolutely no way you're that ambitious.
Okay.
And yes, he doesn't decide to go for it. That's a freelord over to Geek Fam.
I would have dropped my pants if Nile goes for that and actually stole that. But yeah, good decision. Yeah, good decision from Nile just now. Now 9-1-1. Still very much
Emergency?
have to lead. Yeah.
9-1-1 for Alter Ego as well. The fact that he lost a couple of stacks when he got taken out right there. That's how the Sky Piercer works, I believe.
Sell it at this point, sell it.
Now with the bottom lane. Boom, free turret as well. It's been building up since before the Lord fight. Now finally Geek Fam has some tempo. They have the Lord to distract Alter Ego. This is where Big Brain Voloisky usually strikes. Speaking of Sky Piercers though, Chardera has one of his own. He's trying to make sure that he can seal the deal before there's any kind of counter engage. Look at the play here. Send the Lord to split push. Control the top side.
Ooh, Thunder Belt as well for a Kufra, so he's still stacking up. Not only the usual item that you see in the previous patches. You normally want to go for something along the lines of Lancing Carash or maybe some Dominance Ice before that, but Thunder Belt versus item Arashi, that is very interesting for a Kufra.
Technically, you can kind of proc the Thunderbolt with the passive, the long range hit. It kind of makes sense. Gives you a bit of extra damage to play around with. It kind of messes with your tankiness levels though. So you gotta be a bit more careful with how you want to be frontlining. But I think the idea here is for Gobs to be that main frontline. For Voloisky to be the one just hiding in the shadows. And he can just keep proccing the Thunderbolt and ideally get enough value out of it to use it as a tank item. And maybe slow someone down from far away when they're on the way back.
This is what I like about Voloisky, man. The push management is immaculate. He always, try to predict all the possibilities and present himself in the worst case scenario. So he has to check every push available, especially if he knows that Owen is not inside, because that is the huge threat that Geek Fam is trying to get away from. He's been doing a great job, both of these roamers. Owen responding from the veteran Voloisky.
Look at the items, by the way. Chudela already have full inventory slot with the Great Dragon Spear as well. Actually building up towards one more item. Whereas for Heis, he has not finished the Wind of Nature. I don't know if he's going to go for it. He went for the Malefic Roar instead, so he's just really concerned about damage output, trying to compensate for the lack of damage that Nile now does due to getting taken out at one time.
Yeah, that final item should be the winner crown, right? He already has the Thunder Belt. I don't think he's going to go Sky Piercer this late in the game. Unless Chad Era strikes back, finds the Sky Piercer anyways.
I think he has one, dude. Oh, he has built one Sky Piercer already.
Oh, so okay, it has to be the winner, the Winter Crown. A boy, great steal with the blooms there, the glooms, as usual. A boy, this time a man in the late game.
He has a double one combo done with the Ice Queen's wand, with the glowing wand as well, and the Enchanted Talisman. So last item here, I'm thinking he might really itemize defensively and go for some kind of physical defense, like a brute force maybe. We'll have to wait and see though, because the Zilli control, look at that boy's damage.
Oh man, catching them in this choke point. Nino as well. Oh, Malloy. Power revenge now gets caught by the Iron Fed, and Nile trying to go into the back line. Now he's knocked up at a bouncing ball. Great read, Malloy trying to go for the flicker play as well. Nino still doesn't all. That was a blazing duet from Heis. There's so much damage. They're unable to go for Nino. Gets slayed in the back, and now it's just Vincent and Malloy. Vincent chasing Nino down, looking for the play. Nino still able to survive, outplaying Vincent and bringing him back for Nile to assassinate, to execute. Alter Ego recover from a shaky mid game.
The Death Timers, can they do it? Can they actually do it? 5 people.
I think they can.
Yeah. The media's not gonna come out, and this might be it. Alter Ego.
The fastest game of Season 14, Game 1. Alter Ego lost in 11 minutes. It was a fluke, they say, as Nile demolishes his X-team.
Alter Ego, doubted, ridiculed after game number 1. But they've come back. Trust the process, and we will be great. They have taken out Geek Fam. They have beat Geek Fam at their own game, in the Lord Dance, in the macro game, in the micro aggression team fights. Is this the new Alter Ego we can expect to show up?
What a way to recover Alter Ego. Let's just say that game 1, they actually gave it away to Geek Fam. What is the secret? Because, oh man. I feel like called out, man. I feel called out.
Hey, that was to you. That was personal. He knows Sheffin is in the building. Nile knows Sheffin's in the building. Nile's probably saying, Sheffin, you should have been a fan of me instead of the fan of the team. Because wherever I go, black and red just suits me.
You know what's funny? We have Taz right behind us right here.
Oh, we do have Taz.
He's been watching intently, anxiously, I would say. What a moment for Alter Ego, man. These fans have been starving for an electrifying Alter Ego performance. And in their first debut of Season 14, they have done it.
A solid performance here, man. And we get to see the replay again.
There are just too many moments that were kind of not exactly ideal or decisive, but Loiski here almost got the catch up onto Nile, and that prompted everyone to try and come in, to try and go for the catch. But because of that, they lost their front-to-back advantage. They were committed in a situation where there's the Donor Wolf King, where there's the Quad Shadow, the Blazing Duet, the situation that really benefits Alter Ego. And unfortunately, it all comes down to one moment. It was looking close for both teams, and look at Nino, man. After game number 1, it was a great performance in the EXP lane on that Ruby.
Yeah.
Outplaying, surviving, and then enabling the team towards the end.
I really want to shout out Nino, right? Because I want to quote the man for his very calm and composed shot calls before. I think he did it again this time, but he actually executed on it. Last time he always was just yelling, "Sabar, sabar, sabar, sabar." It means patience, but it doesn't sound like it was full of patience. This time I think they did. They were like, you know what? Even if we lose in the mid game, patience.
Don't speak too soon, Mirko.
Patience.
We'll have to look at the golden moment, and we might hear "Sabar, sabar, sabar, sabar" the same
If
way.
we hear it again, then it just works for Alter Ego. At this point, he is the key.
Arashi, take it to Monica, please.
Is it time?
We're not even going to throw it back to Monica yet.
Yeah.
Okay? We're still going to have you talk. There's no escaping this. Left and right.
Marinate in it, Sheffin.
Sheffin, you're left.
You jinxed it.
RRQ fan just won. You're right. Pikachu fan just won. And the man who was talking all this about Geek Fam, unfortunately.
Well, there's good news for Geek Fam. They were in the depths of hell before before, but we're gonna take it to Monica for an interview.
Alter Ego membuktikan kemenangan pada stage perdana mereka di season 14. Alter Champs, mana suaranya sekali lagi untuk Alter Ego? Wow, reverse sweep di game yang ketiga. 3 game semuanya dimainkan, 2-1 berhasil dimenangkan oleh Alter Ego. Dan ini kita melihat apakah ini sudah menjadi line up yang akan membawa Alter Ego masuk ke mungkinkah ke playoff di season ini setelah 2 season berturut-turut belum bisa masuk ke playoff. Kita akan tanyakan nih ke Nino. Nino gimana nih? Apakah ini line up yang akan bisa membawa Alter Ego ke playoff?
Mungkin iya, jelas.
Mungkin iya.
Iya.
Dan Nino, ini tadi kalau ngobrol-ngobrol sama Tas, sama Jelly Boy, kata mereka seneng banget ngeliat Nino. Satu-satunya veteran di Alter Ego saat ini, katanya keren banget. Terus main EXP lagi, gimana tuh responnya ke Tas dan Jelly Boy?
Mungkin kalau di Goten tuh request hero fighter mulu kali ya. Jadi kayak mereka agak kesel kali nggak ada yang mukul-mukul kayak MM gitu ya. Jadi sekarang main hero Ruby udah di XP, udah nggak di Goten lagi, kayak gitu-gitu.
Tapi ini susah nggak sih buat Nino? Satu-satunya yang tertinggal nih, sang veteran di Alter Ego dengan line up saat ini nih.
Apa gimana maksudnya?
Gimana rasanya ini satu-satunya veteran yang tersisa Nino? Terus mainnya ini bangun chemistry-nya susah nggak sih?
Mungkin harus bisa ngerangkul aja sih ya. Harus bisa ngerangkul yang kayak gini. Soalnya semangat-semangatnya tuh nggak bisa ditahan banget sumpah. Udah kayak serigala yang